in high school once who I don't know if this is ever a medically diagnosed thing, a diagnosable thing, but she said she just could not control impulses. I think she's just excusing being kind of an asshole. And she's like,
brilliant.
She's like,
that girl is brilliant.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network, and you know me, you know I believe that deep down that everything in life it all comes back to like you're all just looking for love, just chasing sex, chasing a relationship, chasing a marriage. Everything you do, it all comes back to that. And so when I see someone that finds,
I'm gonna one up you.
Yeah,
I think you're all just looking for peace, and sometimes that's love, sometimes it's love.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's I think everybody in life is looking for love. And when I say love, I'm being more, you're looking to fuck and you're looking to have like some companionship and all that. And then you find love. And if it goes well, fine. If it goes bad, then all you're looking for is peace. And then you want no part of love.
All right, I tried the regular thing. I think silence might be the thing.
Yes.
And I don't even
because
mean
the grass is always
quiet.
greener.
I just mean peace.
Yes.
Just
acceptance really is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Acceptance, I think, is what is it like? That's the first, second, whatever step of like all these programs.
I believe it's the first.
It's like that's the first step of the program of life. Just accept
how it goes.
It is how it is. And it's one thing to say that. This is another thing I've learned is like you can go to therapy, you can read the books, you can learn the phrases, you can learn the psychology behind it all, and you can say these things, and you can even like put them into practice, but it's to truly do it is the thing.
I think I've found one of the people who's accepted their station in life, and not their station in life. But
I have to. It's you.
I'm one. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's this woman. I forget the name of the restaurant. I walk by every day, and as long as it's after 10 a.m., she's there. And as long as it's before 4 p.m., she's there. Mm-hmm. And she's always just sitting there drinking a martini. She's probably like 95 years old as hell.
Well, that sounds particularly enjoyable.
She's
so,
just
yeah,
sitting
I'd
there
be at
by
peace, too.
herself with like a book or a newspaper.
Husband's probably dead.
Yeah.
Not interested in anybody else. No, doesn't want a new person.
Just a nice fucking Gibson martini. Always sitting there with the onions, not the olives.
Wow, those are like hardcore.
That's the better
like when I say like I drink martinis, it's espresso martinis. Those are adult milkshakes. And when people get, apple teenies and they get this martini, that martini, you ain't a martini drinker. You're a martini drinker when it's a cup of fucking gin, when it's got onions in it.
The onion ones are fucking good. Those onions are really good.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's for me. Or I like the stuffed blue cheese olives. Those are I get down with those too. I don't like olives, but if you get me, some blue cheese
it's like anything where like I don't like it unless you put something awesome in it.
Yeah, unless you garnish it with like food.
Yeah,
who's a big time acceptance guy? Like the raccoon whisperer.
Yeah,
I talked about him on my other podcast. I said all I'm looking for is my raccoons in life. Like he's just every day at 4 p.m. he feeds the raccoons, and that's all he has. And he like wakes up for that in the morning and prepares for that and does that.
I'd argue I have my raccoons.
What's your
television?
Raccoons? Yeah,
like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. TV time.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yeah, I do.
My raccoons again.
TV.
My raccoons are fucking talented.
Yeah.
His raccoons like to eat. My raccoons got fucking
entertain
skill.
me. Yeah. I mean, television is undoubtedly the most important thing in the world when you really think about it.
I don't think that's an exaggeration.
No,
I mean, like, there's
nope. Whatever you're about to say.
You could do this. You could do that.
Right.
Like,
okay. We've done like the top fives before, and yes, you're right. Air conditioning and the elevator, the car. Like there are certain things that we need, but as far as like basic, they're not basic. Basic modern life things. Mm-hmm. Cavemen and shit wouldn't call a car or an elevator or air conditioning basic. It's like the biggest luxury in the world. But these things are like standard for us. The next level of like entertaining and giving us a level like something to do and all that. I mean, it's TV, and it's by far the most important thing in life.
And it is. It made some advancements in this thing, this television.
I think this TV thing is gonna blow up.
I just watched such a variety of things last night where I was like, this is amazing.
All at your fingertips.
And like I never even most of the time I was just in the HBO app. Mm-hmm. And I left. I watched Seven, All the President's Men, bunch of Entourage. I think that's
Are you saying HBO Max? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
HBO Max is the best product that's got the worst marketing in a long time. when HBO Max first dropped, everybody made the joke like, is it HBO Max? Is it HBO Go? Is it HBO Now? HBO On Demand? Because that was confusing. And then they didn't do a good job of marketing it, and it dropped and it flopped basically. And then by word of mouth, or like a couple shows, like I wanted to watch a documentary that was on there, so I got it. And then as soon as I started scrolling it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is like number 2 behind like Netflix.
It's got
this. It has everything.
The movies are like kind of like Netflix was back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a movies guy as I am a series guy, so that doesn't like bother me as much.
Yeah.
But it's good.
I remember I was like scrolling through like the comedy section of the movies last night, and I was like, oh, there's just nothing here.
Yeah,
but they also have like I'm gonna watch Seven and All the President's Men. Those are 2
and they have
great movies.
They do original. I didn't realize they were doing like original series the way that you can get a Netflix original or a Hulu series. Like to me,
it was fire. It got annoying where you're like, just stop fucking. It was like watching Flight.
Yeah,
where you're like, just stop for a second and just fucking do it.
Figure it out. Yeah, but that I would say it's like Netflix. As much as I hate Hulu, I think there's like some shit on there that you need. My 3 right now would be like and like almost permanently are Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max.
I would give that. I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, but that's my point being that HBO Max is up there,
yeah.
and I don't think people like know that or think that or care to do that. But like it's good, and we know that because of HBO. But then if you're gonna add like new original content and shit, like fuck yeah. I'm watching the. I started the Tiger doc. Have you watched that yet?
I haven't. I heard it wasn't very good.
Well, that's what I find interesting. There's like no buzz about it.
Right. Yeah, I think it was. I think all the buzz got sucked out of it because there was a ton of buzz when it first dropped like 2 months ago. And then I think people got screeners, and then all the reviews were not great. And I think the golf world was immediately like, "Oh, we're out, fuck it." Because it's and you've seen it, not me.
I mean, well, I only watched like the first 10 minutes, but the 10 minutes got me because it's more. I want a documentary on Earl Woods because that motherfucker is crazy.
Yeah,
like he has you
don't have a great kid without being crazy.
True. But I don't know. I don't think I knew how bad it was. The opening is great. It's him giving a speech. Probably, I don't know, when Tiger got like a Golf Hall of Fame induction or something like that. I don't know, whatever it was. And he was like, and as he's giving this glowing speech, they're showing a package of Tiger highlights and when he was a kid and getting older. And then as his dad gets to the part about like how great he was for like the game and how great he is for society, it's him walking in to get his mugshot, and he's all fucked up. He's barefoot. He's like got his eyes barely open, and it was like overlaying with his dad talking about him. I was like, oh, this is gonna be some shit. And then there's a scene where his dad. I meant to tweet it because I filmed it off my screen. Like just a bizarre, and maybe he's not wrong because like Tiger, kind of changed the world, but like.
But Tiger's father, Earl, he loved to drink. He loved to talk. And he just starts saying that his son's going to have this grand effect on the level of Gandhi, Buddha, Nelson Mandela, basically the chosen one.
I know that I was personally selected by God himself to nurture this young man and bring him to the point where he could make his contribution to humanity.
Like, I actually think about Earl Woods a lot now that I became a dad. And I'm thinking by now Keegan would be like on the golf course.
Yeah.
Not playing with like Fisher Price. Like by then he was like hitting real balls with real clubs and doing it well. And I am just trying to get Keegan to not shit in his diaper at night. I am trying to get Keegan to do like basic human things. But and maybe I don't know if maybe I'm putting a fucking cap on Keegan. Maybe I'm putting a ceiling on him because I am not sitting here thinking, you know what? I am the chosen one to raise this kid.
He's
to
not
be
the next Gandhi or
greatness,
Nelson
Mandela. And I mean, Tiger's pretty fucking influential, but I don't know if we're gonna put him on
on
that level.
I would say, as far as athletes go, he's up there with the all times.
And when
not just success, but influence on the world.
And when you put in like he
significantly lower than Nelson Mandela,
right? Gandhi, Buddha, I think he put in there. Yeah. Like Buddha's like opened the mind of the world. Now, like there are these racial implications in the sport that Tiger chose. That's more than just like, hey, I'm awesome at sports. Like he changed the world in that regard. But I don't know. Like it got me thinking that I have moments where I'm like, I want to make sure Shay too, but Keegan obviously you relate to as like a guy. I was like, I want to make sure that Keegan is like awesome, at like talking to people and being funny and taking girls out and going to work and like school, everything. I'm just like, I want to make sure, and that it doesn't mean it has to be like the best at everything, but I just want to make sure he like is awesome, you know?
Because you theoretically know the recipe for that.
I would
not,
hope,
Not just
yeah.
because of you, but because of like, I've seen what cool guys do. It's harder to be a girl or to
do that to a girl.
To mansplain how to be a cool woman.
Let me tell my daughter how to be cool. I'll get she'll get like taken away from me. You know? She'll be like, thanks, Dad. Thanks for mansplaining. I'm like, fuck you. I'm just trying to help. But yeah, I would love, sometimes I think that like, I could be on the playground with him and like something happens and I'm like, maybe I should pull him aside and be like, do you see what just happened there? Like that was you, like, you know, that little girl like didn't want to like let you on the slide because that's what this means. And you know, like explain things to him. No, I don't do that. I don't do that stuff because I just want to be like normal at the same time. Yeah. So it's like, how much are you supposed to like make sure that this kid becomes the greatest thing he could be versus like, how do you make sure he's just like normal and happy? And like, which should I strive for? I don't know. Like, why did Earl Woods... Maybe Earl was probably nasty at golf too. He had to be pretty good, you know.
He definitely didn't just like flip a coin. Like, all right, we're gonna go either hockey or golf.
Right?
Like,
yeah, he knew.
Golf it is.
But he was like, I have like a duty, responsibility. Like, should I be like, I gotta
people
make sure
with duties and callings are.
Yeah, it's like
crazy folk.
It's also like, come on, you don't. You just really, really want to do this. Come on, that's all.
Do I have a calling? No. I like doing a podcast.
Should I be like,
calling.
I want to make sure that Keegan and Shay like crush the media world? Like, should I set them up with like a TikTok account right now and like teach them what I know about this?
I would say no definitively just because Darren Ravel does it. So
then I'm out.
Yeah. Like,
then I'm out.
The people who do it aren't the greatest.
You don't like them. Yeah, it's a weird thing, but anyway, get HBO Max.
Yeah. Oh, and also the criticism I heard of that is it's like the anti-Jordan doc. Where the Jordan doc was overly complimentary of Jordan, this one's overly critical.
See, I'd rather that though. Like the Jordan dick sucking by episode like 5, I was like over it, you know? This is like they're rolling out his ex-girlfriends and they're going hard and like they like when his team came out and condemned it, I'm probably like, well, that's probably because there's some real shit in there. That,
yeah,
like,
it's probably
you know.
But there are also points I think where it's just like he's
flawed. We get it. Like,
like,
he's allowed to
let him have his
mistakes.
redemption now.
It's
been 20 years since his wife abused him. Like
that's the doc I want to see. Like I don't like
I attempted murder because he cheated.
We gotta start beating that drum more. You know, like we'll start like a Twitter account like at Elon is an abuser and just be like reminder, Tiger Woods got hit in the head with a golf club. It's like, yeah, maybe you're sleeping around, but you don't deserve to get murdered with a golf club because of that.
I think Ronda Rousey has one of those too. In her like memoirs, she's like a bragging thing about her coming home and finding out that her boyfriend was cheating.
She beat the shit out
of him. She
of
just
him.
locks the door behind her and fucking beats his ass. Like, yeah, you're Ronda Rousey. That's not okay.
Yeah, you're a weapon. You're like a registered lethal weapon.
You're like a black belt in multiple things. You can't beat me up.
You got to be a little crazy to cheat on Ronda Rousey, no?
Oh, you'd be a lot crazy.
That is like the last. I wouldn't even want to be in a relationship with her just in case I have to break up with her. Forget about cheating on her. Imagine just being like, I don't want to date you anymore. And it's like, well, I'm gonna beat you up.
She just gets up and quietly locks the door. Now you can't leave. Rhonda, you're running out the back door. It's a tough scene.
Yeah,
it's a tough scene.
I mean, and then it's like
I'd be running away like fucking Sting in the commercial, grabbing the kids. She's just throwing them across the mantle. I'm just sprinting around the house. Stop! Come on, Rhonda! Come on!
See, and this is why we got to get into our guy here. You know who can't beat you up? Your sex doll.
A robot, yes.
Can't hit you. Well, at least right now. Yeah, eventually, the robots will be able to kill you. Right now, your sex robot can't fight back. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about the bodybuilder from Hungary.
I don't think we said Hungary the whole time.
I said it the whole time.
Did I too?
Yep.
Because I know it's called Hungary.
I don't think you said it back, but you didn't. You just like went with it, you know. Like you didn't say it out loud.
I think I just didn't even notice. But I would be very surprised if I was saying Hungary. But you know Hungary exists too.
I know, so do I.
So
it's just like it was Romania and Hungary.
Yeah.
If you're Hungarian, you're from Hungary. But we talked about the bodybuilder who fell in love with his sex doll, married it. They had a wedding. They had, vows and a reception and all that shit. And then a couple weeks ago, she broke. She was on the shelf for a little bit, which is, I guess, the equivalent of taking a break. Your sex doll breaks. We were on a break. And then I am sad to report that love is truly dead. he's getting a divorce from his.
Oh, he's getting divorced.
Right? Is that the story?
Oh, I thought he was.
Oh, he's cheated on her.
I think he's just
right.
unfaithful.
Oh. So yeah, like again, everybody's just looking to fuck. And he got sick of that sex style pussy. It wasn't doing it anymore, and he strayed from his marriage.
See, I completely disagree, and I think this works for my argument instead, where he's just looking for peace. And here's the deal.
What could be more peaceful than your sex doll?
This is a lesson in all relationships. It doesn't matter if you're human or robot or whatever she is. What are you bringing to the table? Because when I come home from a long day's work and you're just sitting on the couch and you haven't done the dishes and you don't have a job and you bring nothing to this, well, it's like, well, guess what? I'm going to go find it somewhere else.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
If you don't hold up your end of the bargain, I don't hold up my end.
Now I've no longer found peace because every day I come home, I'm stressed out because your fucking lazy robot ass is just sitting on the couch, can't do anything without me. Fucking clingy as all hell. Like, how about you have your own life a little bit?
You're never turned on. You're always just off.
Yeah.
I got to turn you on every night, literally. Yeah, I think I think that's something that is not, ever really talked about. If you're not, when you enter into a relationship, you are entering into a contract.
Right.
And it says, like, here's what I'm going to do. I'll be faithful. I'll fuck you. We'll share money. We'll raise kids. And we both have to do those things. And if you stop doing one or multiple of those things, well, now you're in breach of contract.
Now, granted,
and now I think I should either be let out of that contract or I have the right to replace those things with an outside vendor who can provide those things.
Now, I agree. I will also acknowledge the fact that some people get sweetheart deals. Sometimes this sex robot, she might have signed the Holly Madison contract.
Right.
The sex version of the Derrick Rose deal, where it's just, look, we don't have to do much. We're going to give you a ton. And then, like,
guaranteed money, guaranteed contract.
And you don't have to do anything. And maybe that is the deal they laid out, in which case she would not be in violation of the contract.
Yeah.
But if he thought he was entering into a partnership, and guess what? He got this fucking girl that just gives him the cold shoulder all night, turns butt unless he rolls her over.
Right.
That's
she's in violation.
That's a stressful life he's living.
No peace there.
No peace.
No peace. Now, did he cheat, Nick, on her with a human or another doll?
So he cheated on her with another robot, and this is what it is.
That's not so good.
TV's off.
I don't know. I feel like
It's not a sex doll.
It's not what you think. So he's cheating on his sex doll with a robot, like a android type of robot, because that.
See, I think this is almost like cheating in the same. So, like, if I got cheated on with a guy, I'd be like, well, that's like, I'm a fucking guy.
Yeah.
What are you doing fucking other
Yeah,
guys?
right.
If you cheat on me with a girl, I wouldn't be thrilled, but I'd be like,
I understand.
okay, they can provide something I can't provide. So if you're cheating robot to robot, well, it's like, well, I'm a robot.
Right.
I can do all the things a robot
I can
does.
provide that. Oh, no. It's like a blowbot. It's not a human doll at all. It's a fucking.
This is a 3-minute video.
That is.
Well, go ahead and press play, Nicholas.
What he's fucking is a robot brain. Armie would be proud.
Oh, look at this. He's caressing it. So if you don't know what a blowbot is.
I don't know.
No. Let it go. Let it go. Don't be a pussy. We watched the guy fuck a peach. Now we're watching a guy fuck a pot. So if you don't know what a blowbot is, fucking get with the times. But it's like, imagine a fleshlight that you. He's like groaning.
Yeah, no, I don't
How is
know.
this allowed on Instagram? Don't be a
I don't think
pussy,
his dick's
fight.
actually out. But
Oh man, this guy is. Wow, I can't believe Instagram allowed this. Fights, put your headphones on.
I can hear it, Kevin. I have plenty of sound right now.
Oh my god, he's like eating it out now. Is that like after he used it? Go ahead, scroll. Keep scrolling a little more. This is a hairy bodybuilder too.
Disturbing. This is really upsetting.
What is
stuff.
that thing?
This is deranged. This is downright deranged.
Oh look, it's got like tits. You know what it is? It's one of those things like the
you put
spikes. You
nails.
put your hand in it, and the brave kids would put their face in it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I never wanted to put my face in it. I thought I was gonna like poke my eyes out. He's got it on his head. What? You know what he looks like? He looks like Marshmallow, the DJ. This man is deranged.
This is like
He makes Armie Hammer look normal, bro.
As I mentioned last night, I watched Seven. This would have been a totally normal thing to be in that movie.
Yeah.
Just like some fucking sick dude who Kevin Spacey's about to come
This is like
kill.
the eighth deadly sin is like the modern technology version. Wow. So how about if a humanoid doll gets cheated on by a more just a electronic device that gets you off, does that make it better or worse? That's like if you have like a short blonde girl and you cheat and you hook up with a tall brunette, that girl's gonna be fucking mad. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, oh, that's what you fucking like. You don't like how I look, sort of thing. So if you're a human doll, and it's like, oh, so you just wanted the new fleshlight?
Yeah,
that's what you wanted.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Kev. I have nothing to say. I don't. Just the fact that he had that on his head afterwards. Is
Rendered
just
John speechless.
So much.
It takes a lot to
I had
render us
no
speechless.
problem talking about cannibalism, and that right there has. I don't know. I don't know what you can even say about that. It's fucking crazy. He put it on his head.
That guy needs Manscaped, by the way. You see, he was
Yes,
furry.
he does.
He was furry, dude. Maybe
how are you supposed to see your definition, Mr. Bodybuilder?
I was gonna say it takes away. You might as well be fat.
I feel like Mac right now.
Yeah.
Like in body mass alone. How am I supposed to see your mass, dude? I'm supposed to see your fucking delts and your
Seriously,
traps.
I can't see any of the definition. I can't see any of the cut up muscles because he was a hairy bear.
I don't know if it would have been better if like he was shaved or the hairiness there.
For us?
For just that video right there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which would have been
I don't know if
more or
anything
less
could have saved that.
disturbing.
I don't know if anything could have saved that. But if you're a regular ass guy, it applies to you as well. If you got a good body, you want to show it off. You don't want people being like, oh my God, look at your hairy shoulders. And if you are, like us and not in great shape, well, then you need all the help you can get. And you don't want to be hairy on top of also being like flabby. It's like, all right, he's skinny fat, but he's not hairy. That's the report card I get. If you're skinny fat and hairy, you're in trouble. So, and it takes a lot. It's a constant fight. For the hairy guys out there, it's like the tides, man. They just keep coming in. The hair just keeps growing, and you just got to keep shaving. So Manscaped makes it as easy as possible.
Of hair, I was very much accused of my calendar picture of being a leg and arm shaver. Which
everybody knows Feidelberg's an inside-out cat.
It doesn't, but my chest is hairy.
Yeah,
but I just don't. Everyone,
yeah,
you
everywhere
shave
else.
your legs. Like no. I shave.
I don't know
piece.
why. I feel
That's
like one day you had an accident that you don't know about. Like you got burned all over your body or something, and the hair doesn't grow in. It's
just
weird.
Perfectly grew back
It's
to normal.
So weird. It's so weird.
It is
There's
bizarre.
Not any hair.
But it's also like so surprising. Like it's the first time you ever seen me, my legs or my arms.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You're surprised? It's like a well-known thing. Hairy. I mean, not hairy.
Fights. Nick put out. Guess how many Sour Patch Kids were in the tub, and we'll send them to you. And people took it seriously. People were like 13,000. It's like, bro, you want a bunch of fucking Sour Patch Kids that have been up in Feidelberg's ass? It's not a real. It's not a probably. But you look good, as did all the boys in the calendar, and hopefully they all got their Manscaped on before they took those pictures. Manscaped will give you the right tools for your family jewels, whether you're shaving your balls, whether you're shaving your chest, your back, your neck, your face, whatever, using the Lawnmower 3.0. It's a waterproof and skin-safe trimmer that will help reduce nicks and will give you that close trim so that you're nice and smooth, whether you want to go with like a little bit of stubble. I guess it's not like stubble on your body. It's like stubble on your face. But sometimes I think it's weird when you're like fully shaved.
Yeah, you take a blade out.
It's a lot,
I
there are
ain't
blade
used a
guys.
blade anywhere on this body in a long time.
There are blade guys. If you are like a pretty guy and you're like hot and got a good body, I don't know, maybe you do the blade then. But to me, I need like some stubble. A 5 o'clock shadow, So that's what I like about Manscaped is that it gets the right amount of grooming. So freshen up, and not only do you have the tools to trim, they also have the lotions and creams and whatnot to keep you nice and fresh. They got the Crop Preserver, which is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. If you put deodorant on your armpits, why would you not also put it in your crotch? Those are the two. Those are the spots that are like
it makes perfect
tight
sense. I would have never thought about it if it wasn't
yeah.
a Manscaped, but yeah, it makes a lot of fucking sense.
It's crazy. And they also have the Crop Reviver, which is a ball toner spray. So I don't know, you're on the go, you're on a date, you just spray it down there, freshen things up a little bit. It's like perfume for your nuts.
A toner?
Yeah, toner. That's what they call it. The ball toner.
See, I am
picturing that
it tightens them up.
Yes, I'm thinking if you're having a long ball day, you spray it and just zoom, they just move up.
That's what I'm picturing as well. Apparently, that is not the product.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Okay.
I don't know what a ball toner is. I have not used the crop reviver. I've used everything else, but I've not used the crop reviver. Maybe we're gonna have to. I would imagine it's more of just like a body spray type of thing that cleans and makes it smell
I don't
good.
know which I hope.
But
it is
I would
more.
like it. I think I would like to be able to switch a button and go from a long ball day to a short ball day.
I would do that. Like it's almost like
Again, just watch it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's in like Harry Potter maybe, where it's like a weeping plant and then it grows right back and a weeping plant. And I would just like spray it and let them
Get
get
hot.
long.
Yeah.
Spray it again and watch
Yeah.
it shrink up and let them get long. Like,
We're children.
I
That's
do-
why God gave us balls to play
would
with.
sit there.
We are children
all
who need to
day.
play with
My
things.
robot girlfriend would be like, "Do you do anything in this relationship other than to spray your fucking
Bring your
balls?
long balls
What-
to bed, honey.
What do you contribute here?
Stop playing with the crop reviver. Just bring your long balls over here. Unreal. Go to manscaped.com. Code KFC. Get 20% off plus free shipping. That's manscaped.com. Promo code KFC for 20% off plus free shipping. All right, before we get into our next segment, if you have ADD, you probably do. You probably have no attention span. You have probably no ability to retain information for hours on end, and you just want quick, digestible clips that are funny. Head over to the KFC Radio Clips page. You can watch funny little quick hitters. You don't have to dedicate much time to it. Click over there, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, and laugh. There's another story about a bodybuilder from the New York Post. This dude went for a walk. He went to walk his dog at night. Fell down the stairs. He said it was a spiral staircase, which are death traps.
Yeah, very dangerous.
I don't know why we as humans can't get
Every time anyone
down
uses
those.
a spiral staircase, you're acting like it's snowing outside or something like that. You're like everything is very. You act like you're breaking in. You're robbing the place.
Yeah,
You're like, this
yeah.
is- I have to go
tiptoeing
slow
down.
on this.
You're like an old woman walking down. It's like a ladder though. They're always steep, and you probably should go down them backwards.
Always made
honestly.
of metal.
Yeah,
Like-
always made of metal. Like you fall down.
We
that,
want to make
you
these
fuck
edges
your
as
shit
sharp
up.
as possible.
So there was a building at Fordham that had like a loft situation for a triple, and they had spiral staircases. So like drunk college kids going home to their spiral staircases every night. That's fucking. I thought bunk
zero
beds were bad
deaths?
enough. Yeah, not that I know of at least.
My
yeah,
God.
the only deaths at Fordham were people getting shot behind the fucking outside in the streets.
Who's gonna joke like, yeah, the leading cause of death on college campuses: 1, Fordham staircase; 2, school shootings. But apparently,
There you go. It's the other way around. Not at Fordham. So this guy said he was walking the dog. I'm thinking he was probably fucked up because he fell down the stairs, hit his head, landed in a kneeling position, and passed out for 6 hours. I think the only way, you maybe hit your head, but you got to have some shit in your system to fall down the stairs and just be totally passed out for the next 6 hours.
6 hours is, especially in a kneeling position.
Yeah, it's
I
not-
get
it's not-
it.
if
If
you're just
I happen to
laying
land on
down,
my back,
I might just-
I'll get a good 8 in.
That's just called going to sleep. I bumped my head, I went to sleep. This guy passed out, and because his knees were folded up in the kneeling position, all the blood pooled, and his calves exploded. And Alexa saved his life, by the way. So he woke up, his calves had exploded, and he couldn't move. But he yelled to Alexa to call his friend. A friend called the
Hang on, now I'm a bit woke on Bezos here. This is just like
you think-
this is like hey, people who live alone, like help. This is a new life alert. But
You think Bezos killed this guy?
I
Bezos
think
put a hit out on
I
this
don't
guy?
even know if he actually killed him, but he definitely set it up.
Okay. I don't hate that
But
conspiracy theory.
Number 2, do you know how we have that answer the internet question? Would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die?
Yep.
My now answer is when, because I know how. It's going to be something like this.
Your calves are going to explode?
It's not probably not gonna be my calves, I'm sure, but it'll be. I will fall asleep one night just in a weird position because I sleep very oddly, and I'll fall asleep one night in a weird position, and some internal organ will explode, and that's how I'll die. I'll bleed out internally.
Honestly-
I'll Drew Bledsoe this thing.
Honestly, it
And
doesn't sound that bad.
It sounds not great.
Well,
I
it depends
imagine
on-
it's extremely.
Are you going to
painful.
suffer?
I would think I probably will.
Yeah.
Internal hemorrhaging. I just think.
God, I want to just
Doesn't
have a
not
fucking
hurt?
an embolism and an aneurysm.
Like if
whatever.
my fucking gallbladder explodes, like that's gonna hurt.
They called it acute compartment syndrome, where the blood flow is blocked.
Yeah, no, this is like This is 100%
100% how you're gonna go out. Yeah.
This is like because I sleep like this. I sleep. I don't know, just fucking weird. And I wake up with numb things. I haven't felt my back in couldn't tell you how long. Like I wake up every day and it's just like, oh, I just don't. My back just hurts at all times. There's something in there that's gonna pop. I'll probably pop like an arm. Fall asleep like this. I'll probably just strangle myself to death. I sleep like this a lot with a pillow. Like,
You know what I'm doing these days? I got a pregnancy pillow. They're fire.
those between
Fire.
your legs.
It goes. It's a big.
Oh, one of those.
It does everything. It's between my legs and then it comes up. It wraps around, goes under my head. It is the greatest body pillow ever. It's a life changer.
See, I understand that. I would never do it. Because I don't think of the bed as somewhere where they're like, this is where you spend like 1/3 of your life. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right. For you, it's like 4/5.
It is.
Well, now you go on the couch a lot.
I'm on the couch all the time.
Yeah.
It is. I do not invest in bed. I got my pocket sheets. That's about it.
I'm thinking about moving, and the first thing is going to be the only thing on my list is a bomb ass bathroom, and I'll take care of the bed, and the rest can be whatever. I don't even need a good common room. I don't fuck the kitchen. Who cares? I really don't need a kitchen. It's a fridge. You know,
Yeah,
you can put a fridge in the
get a
bedroom,
hot
and I'd
plate.
be happy. Honestly, we should redo the home. Think about it. We've been living in basically the same home as probably like George Washington. You know, there's like a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom. A lot has changed in this world for us to still go with that same blueprint, you know?
I think I'm going to disagree with you here.
Like, you don't need a kitchen anymore.
I cook all the time. HelloFresh. What up?
Fine. Feidelberg cooks a lot. Everyone else who's normal, we're delivering, right? Everybody who's like single and living in the city, maybe when you go to a
you
home.
need a place to store food.
I don't think you do.
But you get like.
I really don't think you
get
do.
just like snack. I'm not even talking about. Maybe you could argue you don't need a fridge. I guess if you're not keeping perishables.
No, you
but,
need
like,
a fridge.
Okay.
Just put it in the bedroom or the living room.
But so where are you keeping all your perishables? All your non-perishables? Like all your
have
snacks,
you need
your
like
chips,
one
your
cabinet.
candies.
You need like one armoire almost, if you will.
Okay, and
Like,
then
and put that in the living room. So I don't need a kitchen anymore.
and you don't use utensils or anything. So I use all this stuff a lot. Even when I order, I put
But
it on a plate.
I need like one. Like I have so many cabinets. I need one drawer for utensils, and I have one one cabinet for food.
Okay, and then
That's
now that we have utensils and stuff, we're gonna need a dishwasher. We're just slowly building a kitchen.
No. So the dishwasher.
You can at least need a sink then.
So you do need water flow, if you will, right? So I think you can kind of combine all that into the bathroom. I think you need like
You put all your food in the bathroom.
no, the dishes. Like I'm washing like one dish at a time. I need like a sink. The dishwasher. We talked about this the other day, Nick, from Two Bears, One Cave. You need two dishwashers, and you just transfer back and forth. It's a beautiful idea. You just have your dirty dishes. You clean them. Then you just transfer over, and it's just one big cupboard for your like. Why do you need to put the bowls over here and the plates over here and the knives and forks over there? It's crazy. We don't need the whole like sprawled out kitchen anymore. What you really need is almost just like an island. I think that's why the island is like hot in the streets now. I don't think you need the full. If you're like a single dude like living, if you're like one person living in a place, I have like sprawling fucking. Countertops with like a million cupboards, all that shit. I need everything in like one room.
You hit the P hard.
Huh?
On cupboards.
Cupboards? Cupboards?
You said cupboards.
I really say cabinets. I don't know why I'm saying cupboards.
I turned
cupboards
to
is
the
a weird.
I said
Cupboards is that sounds like we're saying Cubbards.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce
That's
it
weird.
for sure. Cupboards.
I need my fridge in my fridge and my snack cabinet in the room where I hang out and eat. And like, how much time am I wasting getting up and going to this other room? My whole life, up and down, back and forth. Just put it all in the one room.
I would guess it's very minuscule.
It's so many minutes. So many minutes. How many?
You sound
how
like
many
Kramer right
times?
now, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I sleep 30 minutes every 6 hours.
How many times have
whatever
I
it is.
gotten up, walked to the kitchen, come back, need to rewind? I don't need to do any of that. I got my snack cupboard and my fridge right where I have all my snacks and my
No,
germs.
I'm arguing against
Now-
this. As someone who's done it, I did it. It wasn't as great as you think.
Did what?
I had a kitchen and living room. I had a
No,
fridge
I
in the
don't
living
need a
room.
kitchen. I just need.
I just
need a couple things.
took the fridge out of the kitchen, put the fridge in the living room.
What was so bad about it?
It just like, because then you'd get like something out of the kitchen. I mean, I guess if you were building all your cabinets and stuff too, then I just think it's kind of an eyesore in the living room. But
That's what I mean, though. These are
But, like-
release your mind. You're under the construct of like I have to have cabinets in certain places and store certain things in certain rooms. Let's maximize. Let's get efficient here.
I it's look. I understand the efficiency. I'd rather have it look nice. I don't think it looks that nice. As someone who's
Yeah,
done it,
I don't
I've been
care.
here. Doesn't look nice.
I don't think I care about
and
that.
And then also you have to like again. I didn't have the cabinets or the cupboards built out, but so I had to go to the kitchen to get a plate to eat my food anyway. So it was like, okay, now I just have this eyesore rather than.
Well, yeah, and that's where you make these things so they're not eyesores anymore. You make it a part of your. It's all one design, all one look. You have your 2 dishwashers. That's it. That's the only place you store your dishes. I don't know why we have to take it out and put it here, and then put it back here and put it there. Why do we do that? We just have it in one spot. It cleans. You take it out. You put it back in. Done. Why do you need to have a cabinet that's filled with these things?
You don't. That one's not the worst. It would look ridiculous again, but the if you had them like where they're like built into the wall kind of deal, like
do all this shit so you make it look nice. If you're I'm not worried about that. If you're worried about how it looks, you can make it look nice. You just need your 2 dishwashers, your fridge, and a snack cabinet, and you can put that shit wherever you want, rather than having a whole ass room called the kitchen.
So then you're just cleaning dishes in the bathroom.
Sure, it's not even a bathroom though. It's just kind of like your water supplies.
It's just the place I piss and shit.
To me, the bathroom is not going to be the bathroom. The bathroom is probably going to be like my best room in my house. I want to trick my bathroom out. Most people think of the bathroom is just where you shit and piss. No. This place is going to be fucking bomb. That's where my TVs are going to be. That's where my music's going to be. That's where I'm going to live. I'm going to have jacuzzis. I'm going to have comfortable shit in there. I'm going to have the heat lamps up top. We're gonna have the heated floors on the bottom. My bathroom is gonna be the spot to be. Maybe I'll have maybe you have like a second door. That's where you piss and shit. So that's not all like in that same spot. But to me, that's
I might hotel setup. I always like that in a hotel.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like an outhouse, but inside.
Here's the toilet with the closet with the toilet in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you have the exhaust in there, so it doesn't smell whatever. I might put my fridge and shit in that bathroom. It's not the bathroom. It's just gonna be called something else. It's gonna be called like my entertainment room. And I got my shower, my jacuzzi, my TVs, my fridge, all that
I can
shit.
see a hammock in here.
Sure, absolutely. A hammock, a loft, one of those giant beanbag chairs. I might have a tent. It's like those tents that go over your bed, so you're like living in a little cocoon. We need to revolutionize the home. I'm sick of living in the fucking regular modern ass home. I don't need that shit.
The arguments you're presenting aren't the worst I've heard.
You're goddamn right they're not.
But there it is. It's just, it seems to be a little, it feels like to you that it's convenient, where I think in practice you'd learn it's really not convenient to do your dishes in the bathroom.
That's only because you're talking about a bathroom, John. I'm not talking about a bathroom. Also, we're not doing the dishes. We have our double dishwasher.
Okay. So the dishwasher's also in the bathroom.
No, the dishwashers will probably be in the living room. The dishwashers are going to be probably also like a countertop, if you will. So I'll have like a little bar that I can put certain drinks, liquors, things that I need.
Yeah.
And then underneath that will be my dish drawers, which happen to be washable as well. Okay. And that will be next to my fridge in my living room.
And then there would be a sink in here too. At the wet bar.
Probably.
This is really close to a kitchen, Kevin.
It's really just combining the kitchen with. I don't think I would need the sink there, though, guys. What do you need the sink for?
Even you gotta usually get at least some of the stuff off a plate. You can't just put full plates in the dishwasher. That's a recipe for a broken dishwasher.
Well, that's called a garbage. I'll have a garbage can there. I'll have a garbage chute. Garbage chutes are where it's at. That needs to be revitalized. They're revived. That needs to be revived. Like just and then it's gone. So I'll have a garbage chute. I'll have the wet bar with the dishwashers, the double dishwasher dish cabinets. Maybe have a sink, but I don't think I really need a sink. I need a water supply, so I'll have just like a Poland Spring water cooler.
Well, if it's a wet bar, you're at a sink.
Well, yeah, so maybe not a wet bar, more like a bar cart, I guess.
Okay.
And then those things just kind of go right into, because you're talking about doing the dishes. It's called throwing out the containers that my delivery came in, John. This is all predicated upon if you don't cook. If you cook and you have a whole family, you need a kitchen. For me, I just need food and then throw it out.
Now, what you're describing is pretty close to my apartment, right?
Yeah, yours is similar. Yeah,
there isn't really a separation between.
Right. You have a good apartment. You have a good spot.
Like a tiled floor.
Yes. It's just like a little line of demarcation.
Yeah.
You're getting close. I don't think I still even need all your cabinets. And what you should have is your double dishwasher in your island. Right. That would be good. But yeah, yours is good. Yours is getting close. Yours is almost towards my futuristic home. We're almost there. If you had a bomb ass bathroom, then we're talking. And then you have just a bed, like a I think people should sleep in like hyperbaric chambers.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
People who have like a grand bedroom, I don't think you need that. What I do need is a fuck room and a sleep room. So then we're gonna have a fuck bed and we're gonna have a sleeping bed. And my sleeping bed might be a full-blown hyperbaric chamber tent. Whereas my fuck room will be like an Armie Hammer room.
The red room.
Yeah, the red room of death. Armie Hammer for sure has one of those. And because I am just like completely about maximizing my comfort at this stage in life. And that's why I'm wearing cashmere sweatpants today.
Yeah, I noticed.
This Faraday brand, this is after a couple washes too, when these are fucking fresh new.
Those are, I like them now. I like them there.
The Faraday brand.
They kind of got like a towel feel, like it's like a cashmere towel. It's like,
They're warm.
Which I think I don't know exists.
But they're warm, but they're not like sweaty. They're light, but they're like the wind doesn't cut through them, so you can like wear them. I think you're supposed to wear these like around the house. I wear them like out. I don't know. But they're fucking cashmere. I'm getting my money's worth. Okay. So Faraday brand kind of that you can class it up, scale it up, and get like the expensive stuff like cashmere, or you can get like the more normal stuff. But Faraday brand is there's a lot of comfortable clothing brands out there right now that I think are starting to maybe lose sight of the style side of things. Like you can't always just look like you're going to the gym or whatever. Faraday brand is like a real clothing brand, with like real styles, real designs, real materials, real trends, all that kind of stuff. They make high quality, comfortable clothing that is stylish, and they keep the focus on fabric. So that's like really what it's all about. That's what I learned too, even just doing like some Barstool stuff, was like talking to like Rich and them. I'm like, what's the material? I can't tell you how many times I'm like looking at tags now. I'm like looking at this is 20% this and 80% that. It's all about the fabric. It's all about the material, and that's what Faraday brand is committed to. They donate a lot of their funds right now. They donate to the Surf Rider Foundation and 1% for the Planet, which is all about the community and the environment. They're all about family. They're family run.
It does feel nice when you get that. Just like
a little extra bonus.
Little
like,
something.
I'm being a good person.
I'm comfortable. I look good.
Yep.
Also helping the world.
Yep. They have a Legend collection, which is the softest, coziest clothes you've ever worn. A cozy boy over here. You're the sad boy. I'm the cozy boy. I'm all about it. The quality stands up, so you can wear it every day. Stylish. I got a black pair and a gray pair of my like cashmere sweatpants that are just they've gone right to the top of the rotation. How sad? It's almost like Toy Story. When clothes get bumped, and like Woody and Buzz get thrown in the back, it's like, I used to be the favorite pair of sweatpants, and now like Faraday came along. Now I'm in the dumps, So Faraday's at the top of the rotation.
Somewhere.
Yep. I just use you. I use you as like a napkin. I just like rub it in my hand, throw it away. Faraday brand's at the top of the rotation right now. Buying forever is the smartest way to shop, and right now it's the smartest time to do it because you can get 25% off your Faraday purchase when you go to FaradayBrand.com/KFC. That's FAHERTY. Think of it as Faherty.
Faherty. Yes.
So how do you spell it?
I would spell Faherty FAHERTY.
So it's more like Faherty.
It's like
Faherty. You gotta really hit the brogue. Faherty.com. FaradayBrand.com/KFC for 25% off. Faherty.com.
Yes.
FAHERTY brand.com/KFC for 25% off. Why don't you subscribe?
It means you like us.
Click the subscribe button, because if you don't, I'm gonna fucking murder John.
And I'm gonna like it.
Kill him with my bare fucking hands.
Yeah.
And if you weren't sold on this video, there's plenty more. Watch what's next up and then subscribe. But just subscribe so I don't have to fucking kill him.
Well, I don't know. Do what you want, but subscribe. Probably.
Armie Hammer, it's getting worse and worse. Although I don't think this second wave of stories from Instagram are hitting the same way the initial cannibal ones did. But this chick, her name's House of Effie. She actually reposted my 1 Minute Man, which is making me a little uncomfortable because I'm like, I really don't want to be in this situation at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a call from like Armie Hammer's lawyers or some shit. I'm like, I don't know, man. I was just making jokes about you being a cannibal. But it was specifically the one part where I was like, who would make this up? Who would make up being a cannibal? Of course it's true. And then the cut. I was like, okay.
That's the only part you put in it?
Pretty much, yeah. So she has posted more and more. Now there are messages about how he wanted to cut off her toe and keep it in his pocket at all times as a memento of her.
Pocket sausage.
What are you doing? Getting ready for sex.
Always wanted. What's the toe shot? Sour toe. Always ready for a sour toe shot.
Ugh. Gross. He calls all of his girls kittens. Like all the girls that he dominates, he's like, my kittens. And
Is that industry standard?
I don't know. I don't know if that's across the board or if that's just an Armie Hammer thing.
Yeah, is that like having a twink? I got a kitten.
Yeah.
I got this girl. I just fucking ruined like she's loving.
I mean, really, when you think about it, you're just like you're calling him like your pussy. You know what I mean? It's just like you're just my pussy.
You're my pussy. Yeah.
But it sounds like if. By the way, for all the girls out there who think Armie Hammer's like even like hotter now, I kind of get it. I don't really get it, but whatever. Different strokes. You can fuck Armie Hammer. It sounds like you are getting exclusively fucked in the ass at all times.
Is that what he says?
He's always talking about fucking people in the butt. It's always that. I have not seen a message yet that's like, oh, your pussy's so tight. It's all like every time I'm fucking someone in the ass, I'm thinking about you, or like it's all just ass stuff. So, you know, get ready for the back door if you're down with Armie Hammer. I think that it's so last time we talked.
It's nice to mix that in. Where like we're talking about cutting off toes and fucking brains. Like
also,
by the way, I like your fucking ass.
Just
too.
good old butt sex.
Don't get me wrong. I'll fuck a hole. That's fine.
Yeah, how about the holes that we're designed with, man? You know it's bad when you're like, can we just be normal and do anal? You know, and that's just par for the course.
The only way to get Armie hard is when his girlfriend's like, oh yeah, I need that. Like I need a hole in the head. It's like. Say what now?
What? Hey?
Why?
That can be arranged.
Would you be into that? He asked with a chuckle. Why? Is that something you'd like?
Totally just joking. If not, though. But yeah, would you want to do that? So a lot of the messages that are coming out now are just kind of like just not even cannibal and shit. Just like he just seems like a bad like boyfriend, a bad lover. He just kind of like mentally, like verbally abuses these chicks and kicks them to the curb and like talks a lot of shit. Just seems kind of like an asshole guy. But last we talked, you were down to drink blood, and it sounds like you will like suck the blood out of my finger if I cut my finger off.
I don't think I drink blood. I think because the texture would be good. It would be definitely thick, right?
Yeah, I can't believe you of all people.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
No. It's not really that. It's a little bit thicker. Blood's thicker than water, but it's not like it tastes like pennies. You know, it's got that metallic taste to it, and it's not.
Kevin.
Yeah, well, listen, I've sucked my own blood. I haven't sucked others. I think it's it's somewhere between water. It goes like water, blood, cum as far as the consistency.
Oh, okay.
You know?
It's okay.
Probably in between there.
So
much more towards the water side.
So less than liquid water, thick water.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
less than thick water. Yeah,
Because I believe Lisa
But I
Ann
also
said that was
think-
exactly like
cum. Yes, yes, she would know.
Which, by the way, a disturbing amount of people would just wolf down.
A lot of people had no problem with thick water. Casey Smith. But I think blood, like the consistency and the thickness is not bad, because I think what a lot of people are thinking of is like, cut my finger. Versus like if you were to do a shot of blood, I think you'd be like,
Yeah, a shot of blood.
yeah.
Shot
The
of
same thing
blood's
with like
on-
spit. It's like, yeah, you can spit in my mouth, but if you gave me a shot glass of spit, there'd be a problem.
Yeah.
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 Mr. fucking Gag over here an episode ago was talking about drinking bodily fluids. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I ask you where you stand now. Oh, by the way, let me just say this. While I am apparently the only person in the world condemning Armie Hammer.
By the way, I don't think I condemned drinking or commended drinking bodily fluids. I think I was like, yeah, I'll suck up.
Yeah, but you said you would do it to other people. You said you would suck my finger if I would.
If you were like,
and so did, and this is where you know you're wrong, or like it's a problem. So did Kelly Keegs. And right now, you don't want Kelly Keegs on your side of the argument.
If you were like, if you were a child and you're like, or like you just acting childish, you're like, Sean, I cut myself. What do I do? I'd be like, give it to me.
So now you're sucking on the children. Now you're sucking the bodily
I don't like
fluids.
doing this topic.
Bodily fluids of children. John's condoning that behavior now. Everybody, all the girls and the gays who want to fuck Armie Hammer, I've said this, I think they're all talk. I think they're all talk, and they're having fun with it, and I don't want to, ruin the fun. But if it came down to it, like, go ahead, go fuck him right now, but then he's going to like chase you around the rest of your life and want to like cut your toes off, I think they'd all say no. Except for Kelly Keegs. She will fuck Armie Hammer. She'll fuck Armie Hammer right in front of me and be like, I told you so. She wants to really fuck Armie Hammer. But
she would be the one to roll out, like, in the movies when someone's like hanging there, and in order to intimidate them, the torturer comes and just rolls out a knife set.
yes.
Like, what do you want, Armie?
Dude.
Dealer's choice, baby.
You know what would happen? I like the scenario I set up. I said, like, here's the hotel key, room 159, right down the hall. Go ahead. He's in there. Go fuck him. Like, put your money where your mouth is. Go fuck him. I think Kelly would snatch that. You'd hear the door close behind it, and in like 5 minutes, Armie would come running out. Like he'd have like half a shirt on. Be like, that bitch is crazy. Kelly comes out like, where you going, Armie? She's got a fucking hook in her hand. That was just foreplay. Where are you going?
Crazy one of
bitch.
those the jackets they give you on like Made of the Mist. It's like a see-through jacket.
The deadliest catch. She's got the hook from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Dripping blood. What's wrong, Armie? I thought you were into these things. Crazy. My one thing, I said, I think the only person who's like, Armie Hammer's a bad guy. Everyone else is like, I want to fuck him. The only thing I will say, not in his defense, but more kind of like the girl, House of Effie. You can't be doing all this and then have your profile say the Michael Phelps of fucking. Her Instagram bio says that. And that's what Armie Hammer called her, and he put in his messages to her. You can't be like, ooh, I'm into that. That's a cool nickname, and then condemn all the other parts of his message, you know?
I think there are a couple of layers between like, hey, you're really great at sex and also want to eat you. like
Definitely.
Well, you like one thing, you don't like the other. Like,
Definitely.
I can't even get a read on this girl.
Definitely. That's why I'm ultimately on her side. I'm just saying, if you want people to take you seriously, you can't also be like, well, Armie called me the Michael Phelps of fuck. Also, the vain person in me says like, that's a fucking awesome nickname, so do whatever you want.
It is.
You know?
I think it's a so-so nickname.
I know you guys said that. I think it's an incredible nickname. I don't think of Michael Phelps. I think of Michael Phelps as like the fucking man.
So do I.
Yeah.
Do I. But also, I'd be like,
I know that swimming's not the coolest sport.
Yeah.
But when he was that dude, he was that.
It was.
dude.
Yeah. It was like I loved watching Michael Phelps. I thought that was fucking awesome. But I don't know. I guess it is a little unique, so that's cool. Like, oh, I'm the MJ of fucking.
It's like everybody's been the Michael Jordan of. Yeah.
Use GOAT on fucking everything.
Everybody.
High school athlete hits a 3-pointer. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT is.
But
the GOAT
also,
is dead
the GOAT is Michael Phelps. Really, when you think about it, like he was like perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like has he ever really lost? Like when you lose like when you're coming up. And maybe if he swims again, did he? Like I feel like he was, when he was in his prime,
like a close second.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's like, silver medal and fucking waste of time. But I mean, I think he was probably the most dominant at his sport, like probably ever. I don't know. Maybe I feel like even more so than Jordan at basketball or Brady at football or I don't know, Babe Ruth or Barry Bonds at baseball. I think it's like Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps at their like particular craft. So I would be like, yeah, I'm the Phelps of fucking. But I just think that it's tough to be like this disgusting pig. He gave me an awesome nickname. No.
But I mean, isn't it like fucking like anything, like any relationship? You take out good parts.
Take the good and you leave the bad.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Also, some of that was fucking awful. And like, well, he gave me good nicknames. Also, he wanted to cut my toes off. Like, you take the good and the bad. Weigh it out. See which is worth it.
Usually the good and the bad. It's like, well, like the sex was great and we had a lot of fun, but like we weren't compatible when it comes to like making a family. And it's just like, well, it was a lot of fun, but I lost digits.
Yeah.
We really need
but
to
now
hear
I need
from Armie.
orthotics because my balance is thrown off because I don't have a pinky toe anymore.
Now I walk in circles because oh yeah. People are assholes. So should we do a little Am I the Asshole today? By the way, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin on the show today. Some of you probably, the diehards who wake up early, probably heard some or all of that interview. That we fucked that up. That was supposed to be for Brandon Walker launching his wrestling podcast. We were supposed to give him like the exclusive and have him everyone listen to him on his debut, first guest ever on wrestling. We forgot about that, so we had published it and it was only up for a couple hours, so I took it down so that Brandon could have his time in the sun. So now we're airing that interview. We also have Anthony Mackie. He's Falcon from the Marvel world, so another big
On your left.
On your left. I mean, we said no guests, and then these guys come along and say, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And Anthony Mackie says yes. You
Two
say
superheroes?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll make it happen. So a couple interviews for you. But let's get into Am I the Asshole now? It's brought to you by St. Hubert's The Stag. If you're not drinking the Stag wine, you are an asshole. Because this wine is not only tasty, quality, and has the full array, whether you're looking for a bold Cabernet Cab Sav, whether you're looking for a velvety red blend, whether you're looking for a smooth Chardonnay or a crisp white. They've got the entire array of wine. But St. Hubert's The Stag, it's a different kind of wine. It's a different breed. St. Hubert is the patron saint of the hunt. So this is all about the pursuit of adventure and the pursuit of the best wine and the energy beyond the expected, as they say it, when you're looking for that boldness. The pioneering spirit lives in each bottle and reflects in all of the best wines, including the Paso Robles and the Central Coast. So,
you know what I think was great about this too is because the hunt for wine is extremely nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah,
if you're like
when you're like a new one, or
especially if you're in a wine store, like not your liquor store, you grab whatever, but like
when you're looking on those wooden shelves,
where you're like I don't.
Yeah.
Fucking like, because no one really knows,
they don't.
Except the experts like this.
When you ask the guy at the store and he's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "Fuck you, man. You're like a high school kid working behind the counter. You don't know what you're talking about."
Dude, I had a bad experience the other day where I wasn't getting wine, I was getting whiskey, and the guy was in a blazer. It was like a nice wine store and nice wine and spirit store, and I was like. I asked him, like, is this comparable to like a Bullet or like a fucking Four Roses? And he was like, ooh, I don't know, but you're going to want to put some ice in it. I was like, in the whiskey? He's like, yeah, or, if you don't like maybe a splash of water. I was like, I know how to drink whiskey, you son of a bitch.
I mean.
I was asking for, like, it was just like, I was like, you're in a blazer at a nice wine, and the most you can tell me is maybe put a splash of water in my whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man. And that's why it's much easier to just be like, okay, these people, the experts online.
These guys know what they're talking
Here's
about.
what you do. Here's what you want. This is what kind of wine you're looking for. This is the flavor you want. These are the tastes you like. This is the flavor you want.
And I think this goes a step further where they're like, they are targeting a certain type of person. Like they're the sponsor of the X Games in Aspen in 2021. So not all wine needs to be like I'm in the blazer, I'm in the fancy place, and I need to, swirl my wine and smell the tannins. This is like, if you're enjoying life, you're out there on the adventure, you're out there going on a journey, this is the wine for you. Enjoy responsibly. You must be 21 or over. And follow along on Instagram and Facebook. It's at St. Hubert's, St. Hubert's, thestag.us. That's St. Hubert's, thestag.us on Instagram and Facebook. And check out your local wine aisle to try it today. Am I the asshole? Last week we had the girl who took a shit in the kitty litter. And this week we have the guy who peed in the kitty litter. So or at least blamed it on the cat. So am I the asshole for not taking in my brother-in-law who peed on my stuff and blamed my cat? So this is the second cat blaming that we've had in 2 weeks. At least this cat, I think, is alive. We'll find out.
Real twist. You got a cat murder out there.
That's the real story. Cat serial killer.
Everyone's cats are dying and ruining our excuses.
Could you imagine that
pissing and shitting in the wrong place?
If two people on Am I the Asshole were like, wait a minute, my cat was murdered. Was your murder too? They connected because I'm the asshole. My 29 female, so the 29-year-old female has a husband, 34 male Ted, have been living together for 10 years. We met early in college, dated all throughout. I dated before him and took a semester for traveling while he finished so we could move into another state. He ended up having to repeat some classes, so when I came back, we couldn't move yet, and I had no place of my own, so I moved in with him and his roommate/brother, Ash, 32 male, while Ted finished school.
You can just say brother. I moved in with him and his brother.
Yeah.
It's implied they're roommates.
Right, for sure. Before moving in, I made sure that Ted cleared it with Ash that I was bringing my male cat with me. They had a dog who was old, but Ash said he was fine with it. About 3 weeks after moving in, I started noticing that our bedroom started to smell a lot like pee, and we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. My cat is toilet trained, so not even kitty litter trained.
What is this, Trick De Niro?
This is fucking Jinx the cat. My cat is toilet trained, so I knew it wasn't him. And the dog couldn't go into our room because he was on the second floor and he had hip problems. I started finding clothes on the floor smelling like pee. I asked Ted, and he said he had no idea. After about 3 months of frustration of this happening twice a week, I asked Ash if he was bringing the dog upstairs. He said no. At this point, I'm fed up. I stopped leaving my clothes anywhere, but I was still finding pee in my shoes, my throw pillows, things like that. After breaking down one day, Ash suggested it was my cat marking his territory, as male cats are known for doing that. He said it made sense as it was only on my things, and it was a new place. If any of y'all have cats, you know that the cat pee smells different than human pee. I trust my cat with my whole heart. So I set up a camera in our room. I was paying rent. Boyfriend knew about it, so I figured this was the way to find out where the pee was coming from. Lo and behold, Ash was coming into our room and peeing on my stuff. When I saw the video, I packed my things and cat and went to stay with a friend until Ted finished college and we moved. When all this happened, I refused to confront him because ew, and Ted dealt with that. I really haven't spoken to Ash since. He was the best man at our wedding, but we tend to keep clear of each other at our family gatherings. With the pandemic, Ash lost his job and apartment and is honestly struggling financially. He asked if I could move in with us, and I honestly said I don't want him to because he peed on my stuff. He was 25 years old when it happened. He was a grown-ass man. Now their whole family is calling and texting me, saying I'm an ass for leaving him homeless in the middle of a pandemic, but it wasn't their stuff getting peed on. Am I the asshole because I'm holding a grudge because he peed on my stuff? She always puts peed on my stuff in capital letters. But he's losing his home and his cat. But he's losing his home and his cat deserves a home. But it was made very clear that I cannot just take in his cat and leave him to the elements. I know I'm justified, but Ted said he couldn't do anything about that. You know, I mean, this goes on and on, like with edits and questions, clarifying questions. We're not going to read all that, but I can't believe there's all that. You are in no way, shape, or form obligated to take in someone who you caught red-handed peeing on your shit.
And I thought it was a one-time thing, drunk or something.
No, right. This is
twice weekly he was coming in and just pissing all over your stuff.
I mean,
you're a saint for not calling the police.
I was gonna say that guy should be locked away.
That is
that is today he's peeing on your stuff. Tomorrow he skins a cat. The next day he kills a child. This is pre-crime to the max.
It's just his fucking plan. Like, how did he think that was gonna end? Just one, he was never going to get caught. No one was ever going to discover that it was human piss, not cat piss. Like,
I'm also envisioning, like, if you would do a human piss, that's a lot of piss.
I'm
envisioning he just, like, squirts it and pinches it off.
I was thinking he's going in with a water bottle. like
a spray bottle.
It is. That's too much.
Because if it's just a little bit that it's not, like, soaking wet, and then you smell it, you're like, oh, it smells like, I think that's pee. Like, it's not sopping wet. It's not
in the rain.
So he just probably just, like, squirt, and then pinches it off and runs to the bathroom.
I mean,
and then
more deranged than that guy fucking the robot, more deranged. Well, maybe not more deranged than Armie Hammer. I'll tell that line.
Tie, call it tie, coin flip,
but just
photo finish,
downright sick and.
You know
perverted.
who's more deranged? Is the family. Well, maybe they don't know.
I don't think she's. Okay. I think she's a goddamn saint for A, not calling the police. B, not ratting. I'd be like, he pissed on my stuff for what sounded like months.
So he's crazy.
Twice weekly for months.
He's crazy for, like, if. So this guy's desperate. He goes to the girl. He's like, hey, I'm sorry. I know that I peed on your stuff, but, like, can I stay in your place? And she says no, and he should go, okay. And when the family's like, can you believe this bitch? He should be like, no, it's fine. Me and Samantha are like, it's totally cool. Like, he should be doing everything he can to take the heat off of her so that she doesn't go and tell everyone that he's a clothes pisser.
I wonder if he even knows that she
knows. Oh my God.
Like this is for 10 years you've kept this secret, sweetheart. Let your story out. I mean, obviously you have at this point.
No, you gotta tell everybody. But like,
make a Facebook post about that shit because you seem like a Facebook person. Make a Facebook post.
You almost have an obligation to the world.
Yeah.
This is like, well, you know, this is like some fucking, it's like some Penn State shit. You can't let these people run wild. You got to blow the whistle. You can't let this guy. Who knows what else he's pissing on?
Yeah,
he could be pissing on like the other side of the family's little nieces and nephews.
And the craziest part of it, I think, is the pinch-offs.
Yeah,
because it has to.
Squirt.
Pinch-offs have to be involved here.
Oh my God!
There's no way you're just letting it, like, you're not just unfurling the hose and letting it run wild.
No way.
You're in complete control of this thing, and you're just.
You know, I mean, this is like he's like an animal. Like, your dog lifts the legs and it's like
standing over a toilet.
Yeah,
and that's kind of funny because you make noise and stuff.
And then I don't know about all that.
You don't do that sometimes? Just make like a loud splash and little splash, loud splash, little splash. All right, we'll move on.
Moving on. She's got to tell everybody. She's got to tell everybody. For your own good too. Like, all right, I'll keep your secret.
Like I just did apparently.
I guarantee you're not alone on that.
It's like a cannonball. It's like you're pissed as a cannonball. You get a bunch backed up. You go.
I mean, I can understand how it works. Yeah, I get it.
It's funny.
Yeah. I get worried that like if you pinched it, I'm pinching it right now, that it would like back, like it would go back or something. I don't know.
I mean, you don't fucking.
What would happen if you went to pee and you like were corked, let's say somehow like sealed up, what would happen? Would just like shoot black into your bladder?
I don't know. I imagine you'd have to really have that thing corked in, because I would picture like the bolts on a submarine. It's just like boom, and then it comes flying out, and everyone's like, "We got a leak!"
Yeah, seal it off. Well, you know, sometimes you get like the dragon's tongue, the snake tongue shoots out because there's a little something pinching it there. If it was like super glued shut, I just wonder what would happen. Yeah, it would probably the force would probably break through.
I think. I don't know. I would imagine if you medically sealed that shit up.
Yeah.
Like if you got a little dab of super glue on there.
If I pinch it as hard as I can, you think that the force of like my bladder is stronger than like my grip, my vice-like grip?
Only one way to find out.
I'm not doing that.
Drink up, buddy.
Fuck out of here. You crazy. No, you are. Not the asshole. You are the asshole for not warning others.
We're usually team not the asshole. I think usually if you're posing this question, you probably know.
Yeah.
This is the strongest I've ever been, that you are absolutely not the asshole here.
I mean, you know, Am I the Asshole, they did they're calling it a P-Gate. They did a P-Gate update. That's when you know they've got a heater. They said it's not funny. It's honestly just upsetting, but I know many of you will want to see it. So what is CW? I know trigger warning. What's CW? Something warning.
I don't know. What, is it the video?
No, because it just says animal abuse, mental health, threatening behavior, violence, bodily fluids, a minor's involved.
Content warning.
Content warning?
Yeah.
Got it. So Am I the Asshole is very whoever runs that account's very polite. They're very nice. They always warn you of things, but it's also like, well, you're also posting about people pissing on stuff, so let's stop with the dog and pony show here, huh? Okay, next up. Am I the more bodily fluids, I guess?
I'll go with this one first.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for banning my roommate's girlfriend after she kept insisting I was hitting on her? I, 24-year-old female, am a lesbian living with my good friend, 25-year-old male. I own the apartment. I'm renting out the extra room to him. A little over a month ago, he met a girl online and they started dating. She's now at our place constantly. I'll be honest, I never really liked her. She was incredibly standoffish and rude to me at the beginning. I eventually learned it was because she thought I had a thing for my roommate. Even after I told her I was gay, apparently her only argument was she doesn't look gay. So
she's got to be like a hot lesbian.
Yeah, probably,
right?
I guess.
Lipstick lesbian.
A few weeks ago, we were all drinking and hanging out at our place with a few close friends. I tried to mend fences by pulling the girlfriend aside and telling her that I really am gay. I have no interest in stealing her boyfriend, and I hope we can be friends. She seemed to take this very well and was overly friendly with me the rest of the night. I thought she was trying to make up for being so cruel at first. The next day, my roommate asked if we could talk. He said his girlfriend feels uncomfortable around me after I drunkenly hit on her. What? I was not even remotely close to being drunk. Also, I am negatively attracted to her, like way less than zero. I find her insanely annoying. I tried to explain that I was trying to be nice, as I knew she didn't particularly like me. I wanted to be civil if she was going to be around so often. My roommate seemed skeptical, but ultimately took my word for it and chalked it up to a miscommunication. Fast forward a week or so, and the friend group is hanging out at our place again. The girlfriend comes over, of course. I'm cordial to her, but I try to keep my distance to avoid another miscommunication. Towards the end of the night, one of our other friends comes up to me like, dude, what is going on? Girlfriend keeps telling everyone you've been checking her out and hitting on her all night. Again, I was stunned. And at this point, incredibly pissed off. I went right up to the girlfriend in front of everyone and said, what the hell's going on? Why are you spewing lies about me that I'm hitting on you to all my friends? She just stared at me, unable to respond. I continued, just because I'm gay doesn't mean I'm into you. Trust me, I'm not the least bit interested in you. She started sobbing and I was attacking her and said I was attacking her for no reason, calling her out, making her super uncomfortable again, etc. I told her to get the hell out of my apartment and that she was no longer welcome here for making me feel uncomfortable. Her and my roommate left. Needless to say, my roommate is super pissed at me. He hasn't been back to our place since, but I've gotten some angry texts. I'm standing my ground that she's not welcome here anymore, but he's free to stay and move out if he pleases.
So this chick is just constantly thinking, or at least telling people, that she's getting hit on by this lesbian.
Yes.
And it's just not true. Yeah, I feel like that girlfriend's an asshole.
The girlfriend is the asshole.
Yeah, the lesbian is.
However,
I
think this is something that you get a lot of shit for saying sometimes. When you're like, oh, I think that dude's hitting on me. And you're like, why? Just because he's gay? I'm like,
no, because he's like,
or because it's not even like, it wouldn't even be like over hitting on me. It's like, I think you're free to say if someone, be they female or male, if they're interested in fucking you, like men, you can be like, we're about in the same
good-looking
attractive bracket.
Yeah.
Therefore,
it's possible.
they probably want to fuck me.
Yeah,
Because guess
yeah.
what? I want to fuck everyone who's okay.
Yeah.
Every girl who's in my window.
I want to fuck them.
I'm like, I'm gonna be flirting with you.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
overly. Not
Well,
over the
that's what I
top,
was
but I'm
wondering
like, I
if,
will be
like-
nicer to you because it's like.
There's a possibility.
The potential's there. Like,
Yeah.
we both have eyes. We both
Yes.
see, like, we're about the same level here. So I'm gonna go out of my way to be like
I'd
nice
fuck
and
you,
flirty
you'd
with
fuck
you.
me.
Yeah, and like it's
And
just
so
like
I'll crack a joke and you'll chuckle.
yeah,
and
it's a
you'll
little
touch my hand.
So
you know,
just to be
whatever.
like, well, or just because I'm gay doesn't mean I want to fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
no, because we look the same. That's why you want to fuck me.
Well, I also wonder, like, unless this girl is just plotting something and trying to like get rid of her or whatever, or like a crazy narcissist, like you might be putting out some sort of vibe you don't realize.
Right.
Maybe you are overly friendly. Maybe you do touch them. Maybe
If someone
you
was
are.
as she said, like I was overly friendly to her. Like, okay, at the
Maybe.
end of the night, I'd be like, that person wants to fuck me. Why,
But I
why were they
also-
so nice to me?
but I
you're
also
even
think-
a little bit nice to me. If you're either a little bit nice to me or a lot of bit mean to me.
One or the other. I don't know, fuck it. But don't, this has to have some level of the lesbian. The lesbian has to be involved here, because if it was a straight girl and you knew that, you wouldn't be thinking you're hitting on me.
Right.
So it is like she is planting. You know, it is like.
But I just
in
know
her
she's
brain,
interested in
my
my
tax
gender,
bracket, basically.
my gender,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I know you're interested in my parts, and we're about on the same level.
Uh-huh.
So like I would get like I would think that at least part of you is like I could see myself
Mm-hmm.
fucking him.
I wonder. You almost need like a third party to weigh in. Be like, yeah, no, you're hitting on that girl. Or
Right,
like,
right,
yeah,
right. We
no,
need a video
you're
of it.
not. You know, it's like, or maybe she's doing it. Maybe she's wrong. Maybe she's like right for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Maybe you are acting a certain way, but not because you want to fuck them. It's because you want to.
You like because
You're
said
being
you were
friendly, or
overly
you're
nice
trying to be a
to
good
him.
host, or this. So I'm in a never-ending battle now with my new therapist, and I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm just going to continue to pay just to fight her, and but she's smart as shit. So that's kind of why I stick around, because she's really smart.
Yeah.
And she says things where I'm like,
Good spar session.
yeah, like iron sharpens iron, you know?
yeah.
So like she's really like educated, and like she's saying she tells me like how I'm behaving, and she's like, I noticed this change and I noticed that change. I'm like, wow, all right, cool, you know. So she says to me like, and she's so right, but wrong. She's so right about what I'm doing, but I haven't done that yet. She's like, and I mean, this was some fucking a fucking sword through, like a clean shot, like just shoom, just chopped it off Ned Stark style. She's like, I noticed that like when I say something you don't like or disagree with, you get loud, you talk fast, and you talk over me. I was like, couldn't be me. We talk loud, we talk fast, and I yell that I'm right? No.
I wonder where I picked up this skill.
But what was funny, and I said this,
I guess habit more than skill, but where do I pick up this habit?
it depends on the situation. Sometimes it's a skill, sometimes it's a horrendous detriment. But I was like, so I started like laughing. I'm like, I do that. But I haven't done that to you yet. For like, you haven't said anything I disagreed with really yet. You know, like she said something I disagree with, but never that like she's like, when I ask you a question that you don't like, you do it. And I was like, you haven't done that yet. So I was like, I do that, but I think you just picked up on that, and you're like, you played that card too early. Yeah. Because I can tell you, there has not been anything that like I've disagreed with yet. But when the time comes, I will do that.
I'll put a hand up. When it happens, I'll go like,
And you know what was funny was she said that, and I was like, I don't think so. That's not true. And I was like, oh, okay. That time it counts. That time it happens. You smart little bitch. She. I was like, you're good. You're good. I was like, I'll see you Thursday. You win this round, but I'll see you Thursday. You may have won the battle, but not the war.
so funny. It's the only reason I go to. Like it's just
So unhealthy.
It's just I'm just sparring with a professional now.
Yeah. I mean, this is like But I will even say this.
Like she's not gonna knock me out, but she'll land a couple of good body shots.
But you know
and
what?
I'll be ready for those next time.
I also think that I land a few good body shots too. Maybe that's extremely wrong. Maybe she hangs up. She's like, that guy's a fucking idiot. But I could see her. I think she hangs up and she's like, till we meet again, Mr. Clancy, Mr. Peanut. Like I feel like there is a little bit of that there, because And she even, God, it's so good. She even said to me like, you talk fast, you talk loud, you talk over me, and then you explain yourself in like very analytical terms and specific ways to like justify why you're right. So I think she was even like, you know what you're talking, you know what you're saying, and you pick your words carefully and all that to try to prove why you're right. So I at least know that she doesn't think I'm a total idiot.
Yeah.
I think she's like, he's smart, but he's dumb. He knows some words, but he's an idiot. And I'll take it. I'll sign me up for that. All right, let's talk about pooping. Last one here. Another Am I the Asshole? Because I would imagine this is happening to a lot of couples out there doing video chatting and whatnot now. Am I the asshole for getting annoyed with my boyfriend for pooping while we are video chatting? I, 27 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 28, for only 2 months. Oh, boy. I mean, then you haven't been dating at all. If you started dating in the pandemic, you haven't been dating, really, you know? We have
even if you start dating not in the pandemic, 2 months.
2 months, you're not dating, yeah. We have not been intimate yet because of the pandemic. We are always video chatting since it's the only way we see each other physically without breaking social distancing. The problem is that he will call me and I can tell he's on the toilet, well, because he's making pooping grunts and faces. Plus, I can see that he's in the bathroom through the video chat. I've told him numerous times that I don't feel like we're at the point in our relationship, where I want to be watching him pooping, but he says I'm just being dramatic and crazy because when we live together, I'll obviously see him poop. So the last time he called me and I could tell he was pooping, I asked him, are you seriously pooping again when I'm on video chat? And he said, yeah, so what? It's not like you're never going to see me shit when we're living together. And I just replied, just call me when you're done taking a shit, and I hung up. We're obviously not in a big fight or anything over this, but I just want to hear from people on the outside if I'm being dramatic and crazy or if I have a right not to witness him pooping so early in our relationship. It might sound immature, but it just makes you uncomfortable listening and watching. I think I may be the asshole because I know it's typically normal for people in a relationship to talk on the phone while pooping.
No, it's definitely
and
not.
It's true once we do live together.
Girl, you've been gaslit.
Poop lit.
This is 100% not normal, not regular,
and definitely not ready. I don't think you should do this at any point. A video chat is like, I can call you back in 15 minutes,
right?
10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, however long it takes you to take a shit. Call after that. So that's one thing. And the other thing, 2 months is like way. I am a firm believer in like, I don't think you should ever get comfortable pooping in front of each other.
Nope, no way.
Although at the same time, I've had horrific relationships that crash and burn, and maybe I should be on a level where I don't value that sort. Maybe I should, I don't know. But I don't want to see you poop, and I don't want you to see me poop. So
I value privacy. I'm not against saying that. I value my privacy, and if I'm pooping, guess what I want? Fuck your privacy. If you're pooping, I'm gonna give you privacy.
Right.
That's I don't want to talk to you through a wall. I don't want to talk to you on a phone.
I don't want to be acknowledged. Like, hey, you pooping? Yeah, nope. I don't. We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go away for a little bit.
In my heart of hearts, I'll know what's going on.
Right.
But we don't need to discuss
when it's
it.
like we're watching a TV show and you get up and you leave and you're gone for like a little long time. It's like, all right, I know what's going on.
Right.
Okay, yeah, and maybe now even it smells. Fuck. We know what's happening. We don't need to address it. You know what's really crazy is to be on the video chat and be like, totally, babe. I would love to go. I'll see you Friday. I mean, that is crazy behavior.
No one looks good on a video chat anyway.
Period, yeah.
Let alone when you're fucking trying to push out a turd.
It is. Get me sick to my stomach, man.
That would be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
That would be. I'd be like, no. We're clearly not. We're not going to continue with this relationship.
That's fucking awful, man. Fuck. She's 27. I thought she was gonna be like 22 or something. Like, I totally normal. Like adults like poop in front of each other. I was like, no, this is not normal, man.
And like, I think there just isn't a number. There isn't an age where it's cool. There is not even cool, but acceptable. There's no level of this familiarity that you need with somebody. We don't need to be this close.
Yeah,
it's not necessary.
And really, girl, you've been just like talking to this guy on the phone for 2 months. It's not like you're fucking throwing away like your husband and the father of your kids. You know what I mean? Just end it with this video chat pooper. How often does this guy shit?
Yeah, I know.
It's like every time we talk on the phone, he's shitting. This guy has a problem he needs to address.
It's also just it's a problem that's coming from this pandemic. That's now into my world, but it was the younger world as well, where it was like every conversation needs to be on FaceTime. Mm-hmm. I can just talk to you on the phone, man.
Yeah, right.
Like I sometimes if I really have to rip a piss, I'll do it on the phone, and I'll like mute my end for a second and hope they talk for the next minute.
Or you pee over, you
hit
hit the side of the bowl, and then
you mute it when you flush the toilet.
Oh, I actually, and the mute button is your friend. I just don't think about the mute button. What I'll do is I'll kind of like lean my head like around the
I've
corner,
done
and
that.
I flush and then I run.
Yeah. And that's just just peeing.
And honestly, you know what, John? In my new home, I can just turn the TV up. And you won't even hear the flush at all. Okay? All right, let's get into voicemails. They're brought to you today by Acorns, the #1 saving and money earning app in the country right now. It's Acorns. They call it Acorns because, little animals, they stuff away their little acorns for the winter, and they budget it and save it wisely, and that's what this app will do for you. It takes all your extra pennies, your nickels, your dimes, your quarters. You know what? My dad was when he was like a little kid back, when they're poor and in the olden days, and they like collected change. Like change actually mattered. His older brother used to trade him nickels for dimes because nickels were bigger. And he was like, yeah, it's bigger. It's got to be worth more money. Just fleeced him. Just stole 2x's money. Yeah. He's like, yeah, my parents did not like that one when they found out. Acorns will, when you buy a cup of coffee, when you buy a beer at the bar, when you fill up your gas tank, your car, you buy something at the bodega, it takes all the extra money, it rounds up to the nearest dollar, and it takes that extra change and it invests it in an account for you that is run by an expert at Acorns. Diversified portfolios that are designed by experts to help you maximize your growth and help you weather the market ups and downs. You can, instead of putting you in debt, you can get a heavy metal debit card that helps save and invest for you. So you swipe your Acorn card, it knows to round up, it knows to invest it in those diversified portfolios, and you watch it grow. Earn bonus investments from over 350 brands if you buy specific items within the Acorns network. And it can even help you find a job right there in the app. You can invest for your kids with Acorns Early. That's another section for your children. And over 8 million people, plus investors like A-Rod, The Rock, and CNBC are down with Acorns and are helping your money grow. Visit acorns.com/KFC to claim your $5 bonus when you sign up. It takes under 3 minutes to start investing and saving in the background of life. You won't even know what's happening until all of a sudden, bingo, bango, you got yourself hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars sitting in your account. Go to acorns.com/KFC. Voicemails, let's go. All right, we're about to get into our voicemails here on KFC Radio, but if you're looking for more content from me, head over to the Kevin Clancy channel. New episodes out every Wednesday.
Hey, KFC Fights, producer BC. First time, long time. Just calling in because I'm just in an absolutely ridiculous situation right now. So, I was a fat kid my whole life and worked really hard to get in shape, and finally got in shape about 2 years ago. And now I find out that I'm stuck with this benign brain tumor that's caused something called Cushing's, which has forced me to gain weight exponentially. I've put on 50 pounds in 3 months, and I was just wondering, have you ever worked really hard for something and life was just like, go fuck yourself? And what do you guys think I should do to celebrate once I'm done with this whole ordeal? Thanks for the laughs, boys.
Well,
that's a dagger.
You could have, I would. You could have ended that sentence. Have you guys ever worked really hard for something? Think about it. What have you really worked hard for? Have you ever really dedicated yourself to something?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable saying because I don't know. I don't like saying I work hard at things sometimes. Like it's like, oh, I'd rather just like when you get dressed and you're like, I didn't even try today.
Yeah. Right? Like you thought about it for like an hour.
It just came to me. This is just how I do.
I actually was thinking about if I was not blessed with genetics, where I'm just like pretty skinny, like I would probably just be a fat person, and I would probably just be a fat person. Like I think I would if I was this dude. If I lost a bunch of weight and then I got a weird benign tumor that specifically causes weight gain, I would be like, this is Final Destination and the world wants me to be fat and I'm just going to be fat.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym when it's raining out and you get there. So this was a bigger thing in college when like my roommates and I would like drive to the gym and be like, by the time we got there it was raining, so we're like, fuck it, never mind. And went home.
Why?
Just because there's a different vibe to it. You're like, I'm not working out in the rain. This is
was
crazy.
It indoors?
Yeah, it was indoors. And it was. I don't think that's a crazy thing. I think people are like, oh, it's raining out. I couldn't possibly go.
Okay, I mean, I'll defer to the gym people on this one.
But it was like a big thing where it's just like, oh, the world's telling us not to work out.
Yeah. You're looking for any excuse.
It's not worth it.
Right.
Okay. Or we'd go and we'd like do one lap around the parking lot, and there wouldn't be like a good spot. So we'd be like, all right, fuck it, let's just go home.
Yeah.
And so like, it's just like, oh, it's just something you don't want to do, really. And you're just getting this little sign that you are then attributing to the world telling you
the bigger picture.
This is it.
It's fate.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, I would take that as fate 100%. Like,
yeah.
I go under hurdles, not over them.
Yeah, right. I was arguing with that therapist again the other day. I was like I know I gotta like fix all the shit that's wrong with me for like the long run, but in the short run, I'm like, I don't got time to like work on myself. Yeah. So and in my head, I'm like, I'm doing that for like my kids and shit. I can't like take time off of work and like go on like a weekend away to like work on me. So I'm technically doing it for them by just being the lazy piece of shit that I am and just keeping above water. So I don't got time to work on myself. So I think, I'll make every excuse in the book. I'll take every of those signs. I don't think I work hard for anything.
I think it's
I don't work hard for anything I don't want to work hard for.
I think
I work hard at this. I like this. I do a lot of work in this. I make a lot of content because I get a sense of satisfaction when I do it. I don't get the satisfaction out of working out. I don't get the satisfaction out of like certain things, and so I'm not gonna do those things.
I also think working hard is it's kind of, we were kind of talking about it on Friday Night Pints before we were recording, where it's just like you do it, and then you get successful, and you're like, I worked hard for it, rather than like oh, I lost a bunch of weight. Like, did I work hard? No, I kind of when I do my like twice a year, I get in shape for a few months. I don't really work hard. I just do it a few times and it works. Well, and so I would be like, oh, I worked hard. Well, I didn't. It was just kind of easy.
But I think if you're losing like 50 pounds, like this guy does, like body transformation, I think you got to like radically change your life and stick to it.
Not if you're fat. You can drop 50 pounds real fast.
Yeah, but I guess keeping it off is like you got to like change your life and really stick to it, you know?
Yeah, I guess that would be, but like even that I don't consider hard. I'm like, okay, I'll just.
If I had a brain tumor and I had to overcome that, I would consider that hard and I wouldn't do it.
Oh, but yes, a brain, but I'm talking about just the
regular,
before, the 50 pounds before that.
Right.
I would be like, yeah, I don't know, I ate a little better, drank a little less, and that was it.
Right.
It wasn't like, it's kind of, we were talking about it with the Peloton guy who says that one of his tricks or one of his methods that got him where he is today is he wakes up every morning and goes to the sink and takes 40 handfuls of water and just drinks them. And he's like, that's how I start my day. And I think that's a humongously important thing to get going. And I'm like, no, dude, you're just successful. And you're saying that that's what got you successful. No, it's not. Because guess what? I drink a full bottle of water every morning. I guarantee you that's more water than 40 fucking handfuls.
I mean, I just did 10 and it was a whole process.
Yeah, it just
I spilled a lot. I mean, I guess if he's over the sink, but
I just drink a fucking bottle of water.
Just drink like a normal human, you dumb
and I'm getting more water. I guarantee you
I'm more hydrated than you.
I'm getting more hydrated.
That is, without a doubt, I'm not kidding this time, the biggest asshole move I've heard of the week, and we talked about a cannibal. You are asshole of the week, Peloton man. I take 40 handfuls of water,
and it's like you see those things.
What is this? Is it like I feel like an animal. Like I tap into my primal. What's his thing?
I don't remember. PFT was reading. I forget exactly why.
What a dumb dickhead.
But it's all those things.
And he's
like
worth like $1 billion, I'm sure.
But that's why they have those books, like the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, which like that. Like no, that's just people who got successful
and then say that they do a weird, quirky thing.
They say they do a weird thing, and I think that's kind of how it is too. Where it's like,
God, I would love to.
You got successful. You're like, I worked hard. I don't know. You probably got lucky.
You did what worked for you.
So it's like say people like old people who live forever.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it's like how did you live to 110? It's like, well, I eat organic and I walk for 4 hours a day and I do this. And then it's like, how'd you live to 112? It's like, I drink a bottle of whiskey and a bacon.
Whiskey and cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like you just got old and you think what got you old is what got you there.
Yeah,
like,
you're one person. You know, if 90% of people who live to 100 all drank whiskey and cigarettes, and I'd be like, all right, maybe there's a correlation. You just happen to live to 100.
Right.
I don't fucking know. It's like if Portnoy wrote a book right now, like how to become 100 millionaire. I mean, like, I don't know. Fucking just like be an asshole to everybody. Like start a website, gamble incessantly, and talk about it. It's like no, that's just what works for him.
Works for you because you're like entertaining.
Yeah,
it's not that those aren't the things that you do to get successful. It's be entertaining. One.
I want someone to write one of those books first, and then become a millionaire.
Yeah.
Or then live to 100, and then I'll believe your shit. You got to write that book first and then publish it when you're done. That would
call
be
your
cocky.
fucking shot.
That would be cocky if you were like, bam, like you see the date on this, and it was like, yeah, I wrote this in like 1995. And I'd be like, all right, now I believe you. You just wrote that shit after the fact. Anybody can do that. 40 sips of water from your hand. What a dumb asshole. Next. And I mean, by the way, like, good luck to that guy.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's a tough one. But it did sound like there's an end to it. It did. He sounded like when this
Well,
is over.
he was like, because I think he's just like, I'm going to get through this. But how about, get in contact with us and I'll send you a 3XL fucking shirt for you and your fat tumor.
What's up, boys? Just got a quick question for you. So last weekend, out with my friends, having a few drinks, and one of my friends brought this girl over with her, smoking hot, completely out of my league to the point where I wouldn't have even tried to flirt with her if I had the opportunity to. So fast forward a little bit, we're all pretty drunk at this point, and I was teaching her about this game we play, a drinking game called Ride the Bus, where you pretty much, the object of the game is to fuck somebody into having to make them drink. And I said that to her, and she just says, stone-faced, I'd fuck you. And I just kind of didn't know what to say. I quickly said, I'd fuck you too. And then she said, do you want my number? Gave her my number. And turns out she took it back, like 10 minutes later. So just wanted to know if that's ever happened to you guys, why that happened to me, and what.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Dude, what'd you piss on her stuff?
I was going to say, boy, you had a bad 10 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
So a couple things. First of all, I hate when people say she's out of my league, and this is proof positive why. Because you don't know. First of all, you don't know what that person's like and what they think of you. Unless, I mean, I guess you have a good sense of when you're in someone's league.
Yeah,
I guess
you can say that's out of my league, and you can still get in that league for a bit.
Yeah, and you can
leagues
think
are like
it,
what we were discussing earlier. Like you got
this is
my league.
Right.
I know my lane.
Right.
I know.
But you also, so you can say it, you can think it. I don't think you should say it, and I never think you should not give it a try, because girls are crazy. Girls fuck ugly guys all the time. Girls fuck the funny fat guy. Girls fuck the ugly rich guy. You might have some other shit going for you. I don't know. I think it's kind of different with the genders, where it's like, you're not really gonna catch a like really handsome guy with an unfortunate looking girl. That usually doesn't happen.
I would say
It's
that is
much more
pretty,
the opposite way.
Pretty rare.
Right. So I don't think guys should ever be like,
but
she's out of my
just
league.
we're largely uglier.
Yes.
So they
you have to settle. That's
you
what I mean.
have to settle.
So
for
in
me.
their mind, they're already settling for like this guy. Well, he's not that much worse, so maybe I'll fuck him too. So I just think you should always go into it like, maybe not to be so blindly optimistic, like everyone's in my league. Be like, she's out of my league, but I can get in that league for a little bit of time, like you said. And then
I can have a cup of coffee.
And then when you do, you got to Costanza that shit. That dude should have got her number and then been Mr. Mystery and been like, maybe I'll call you later.
What
peace, I'm out. And then she's left wanting more. You showed way too much. You went into your bag of tricks and you pulled out too much, and she said, I rescind my offer to fuck you.
What do you think? Like, what could he possibly done? Like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, like he's lighting farts on fire. Like, what could you do in a 10-minute span?
Seriously.
to create, have a girl go from I want him
what
to
could
absolutely
be?
not.
Could be political. That's the one thing I can think of right now.
Yeah.
A conversation goes on and you say something about Trump or liberal, something extreme. And that's the only thing I can think of right now that would make it be instant. Like, never mind, I take it back.
That's right. That's
and it might
probably ahead of lighting a fart on fire.
Yeah, more so right now. And maybe like you weren't like Trump 2020, motherfucker, fuck out of here. But maybe you just said something, like, I really don't. I don't think that what they stormed the Capitol was that bad, or something. Something that you didn't think was that bad, but it just set her off. But also, you have to realize too, you're talking about a pretty impulsive girl. Anyone who just will say, yeah, I'll fuck you. Here's my number. Like, she was, that probably was too. She probably was broken up with, out there looking for some dick, was like, I'm going to fuck the first guy I see, like Emma Stone in Crazy Stupid Love, And then, like, she got a text message from the ex being like, we should get back together. And he was like, never mind. You never know what's going on. That seems like crazy impulsive. So I wouldn't give that one too much thought.
I knew a girl in high school once who, I don't know if this is ever a medically diagnosed thing, a diagnosable thing, but she said she just could not control impulses. I think she's just excusing being kind of an asshole. And she's like,
brilliant.
She's like,
that girl is brilliant.
She's like, I have the, like, my brain has like this thing where I can't control my impulses. And we were like, okay. And she'd just kind of be a dickhead. And we're like, yeah, it's her. It's like there's a Curb episode of it where Larry, it's one of the later seasons, I'll say it's season 8, 9 maybe, where Larry is dating a girl who is recognizable. I forget what this woman is in, but her son, she always is like, he's on the spectrum. And Larry's like, I think he's just a fucking asshole.
Right.
Like, I think he's just a little shit.
You use the spectrum to hide behind.
Yeah. And I think
Making up that you have a disease that allows you to just say whatever you want whenever you want is brilliant.
But it wasn't even just like say what it was like do things. Like she just like throw
Grab
a fork
things.
and stuff. And they're like, what? And she did something that actually really made me believe it, is that she would always like happily take her punishment. Not from us, from like the school.
Yeah.
And it would be like, yeah, she threw a glass in the cafeteria. And like, guess what? Now you have to like, one of the big punishments was like you have to walk around campus and just fill a bag of trash.
Mm-hmm.
And
do that.
and like I'd see her be like, oh, you want a hand? And she'd be like, no, like I like to take my punishments for like it helps me learn.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did she ever do something impulsively that harmed her or was negative towards her? Because if that never happened, then I don't believe it.
Nothing that sticks out. It was
Although
all.
I
It was
guess-
honestly
I guess
all like
no, I
kind of
guess-
just like you're being a dickhead.
I guess if your impulse, your brain wouldn't have an impulse to harm yourself.
right. You probably have self-preservation.
yeah.
There.
So it's like I always want to just like throw a punch or throw a thing or smash this or do that.
and she was a cool girl. She like I had fun hanging out with her. It was just always like sometimes something crazy might happen, and I still
This
to this
kind of
day-
reminds me of like the never-ending orgasm syndrome that I was like, I don't believe this, and then a lot of people are like, no, it's real.
Yeah.
Like if there's anybody out there who have this impulsive disease,
I have a
let me know.
complete lack of control over my impulses.
It's called being a dickhead. Wow.
But I honestly that might now be something you just say is on the spectrum.
Yeah,
Like, it
right,
might just
right.
Be like
God, the spectrum's such a catch-all.
I know.
Whoever invented the spectrum, bravo, because you can just say that now. He's on the spectrum.
Yeah, the whole thing. It's the whole episode is Larry's just like, I don't think he's on the spectrum at all. I think he's a little asshole.
All right, let's start off with our interviews for the day. We got Anthony Mackie on the show. I'm sure he's a Roman man. I'm sure he takes care of his body. I'm sure he takes care of, make sure he has a nice head of hair, make sure he gets the job done in the bedroom. That's what a Roman man is. They put together an entire array of medication and supplements and whatnot to help you be the best man you can be. That means help feeling good about yourself, looking the best you can, and performing the best you can. You want a full head of hair, you go to Roman. You want to get your dick up, you go to Roman. You want to last longer in the bedroom, you go to Roman. Right now, you can get their Roman swipes, which are clinically proven swipes that you rub on your dick to help you last longer in bed. They're effective, they're easy to use, they're fast acting, and they don't require a prescription. They mail to you in a little box inside of like a little zip-up pouch, like a little carrier, that you can bring them around if you're traveling. You put them in your DOP kit. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Your DOP kit. You pop open the box, pop open the swipe, rub it on your dick when it's time to go, and you let it dry. And next thing you know, you last for like 50% longer in bed. Just enough that you can still feel it, but last longer and make sure you get the job done.
Can I say something stupid?
Yeah,
Maybe
always.
stupid. Maybe
I bet you it's not going to be stupid.
revelatory.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that like this is like the next level of Trojans. So the Romans were descendants of Trojans.
Oh, I didn't think that either.
So it's like
Oh, anything else going on?
I don't know, but maybe
Can you Google like why Roman's called Roman?
it's like because I believe Romans descended from Trojans. So that would be like now it's like
Yeah, the city of Troy
this
was Troy. I thought Troy was Greek. The Greek Empire.
I'm not sure exactly, but if that's the way they came up with this name, that's
cool.
fucking cool. So it's
cool.
like we're the more advanced.
They should run with that.
We're the
if
next
that's
level.
not the case, they should run with it.
Yeah.
It's probably like a dude named like Joe Roman started it, but whatever. We took what the Trojans do and we went to the next level with it.
We made aqueducts.
Yeah. We are the fucking empire, bro. They are an empire right now of men's health and wellness, and you can get down with them for just $5 with the new swipes when you go to getroman.com/KFC. That's getroman.com/KFC for your first month of swipes for just $5.
What's up, man?
What are you chomping on right now?
What's up, guys?
What's your snack of choice? What are you eating?
The worst, dude.
The worst. They're the
those are
worst.
terrible.
We have them in our office all the time, and I
Terrible.
don't want them, but I need something salty, and I get those, and I hate it.
You know what that means? Our boy is hungry. You must be hungry if you're stooping down to the Fritos, man.
They're so good.
You saying the worst like it's you like them and it's bad for you, or you think it's a bad snack?
I like it and it's bad for me, and everybody else hates them.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's good for you because the Fritos are always left.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
and I get the box of like 25, and my kids don't eat the Fritos, so that's all I eat.
Yes,
That's exactly what happens in the office
The
here.
best thing in life is to love whatever's like what everyone else hates. It's always left over. It's like more for me, man.
Plain potato chips. Who the hell eats plain potato chips? This guy.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
all that's left.
What's your favorite brand of potato chips?
So in New Orleans, we have Zapp's potato chips.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never even heard of
They
that.
had the
but
voodoo style,
but
right?
I bet that's good shit.
No, the best one is the crawtators.
Oh, I haven't had those.
So it's potato chips, but with a crawfish seasoning on it.
That
Yo,
Yeah, see, that's
Can I actually tell you something that's probably sacrilegious? This past weekend, I ordered a crawfish boil in New York City.
Oh, that's probably terrible. And I bet it was like, where was that? Like a bar, probably, right?
No, it's right across. So I live like across the street from this restaurant called like Hot and Juicy Crawfish or something like that.
Oh, it had to be terrible.
And it's actually like a pretty highly rated. I actually asked my friend from New Orleans. I was like, look at the reviews. This, like, are you thinking it's gonna be good? Or are you gonna get food poisoning? And he's like, I think it looks fine. I don't know, dude. I'm not a chef, but it looks probably all right. They were tiny
No.
little crawfish, but it was pretty good still. It was nice.
It's like getting barbecue in Brooklyn.
no. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's offensive on so many levels. Like there's this place in New York, it's like on Houston and Christie, and it's called like the Crab Boil or something like that. And I walked past there one night. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? They're like, oh, this is a seafood boil place. I'm like, yo, get out of here. You're not boiling seafood in New York. On the fuck are you doing? That's not crawfish.
But you know
don't
what?
even know how long. I'm like, how long?
There's probably some like hipsters in New York who think that's delicious. You know, they don't know any better, and they're like, no, it's authentic. It's authentic. I promise you. It's like, no, it's fucking not.
Line out the door. And
Yep.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you? That is so offensive. That's so outrageous
Well,
to me.
you know-
that's like me.
No, go ahead, please. I would say go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I was gonna say that's like me opening like a Cat's Deli in New Orleans. Like instead of bagel, like I just make the bagels all thin and floppy. Like, what are you doing?
But you know, in New York, we like, and I'm not from New York, I'm from Boston, but I've been here for 4 or 5 years now. And New York, we like to think we invented everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is, I mean, just recently there was the viral tweet that was like, where do people in New York go when they, because they don't have bodegas, so where do they go to get their chips, toilet paper, and a Coke? It's like, I don't know, man. Any gas station, anywhere in the world, like every store, CVS, you can just go anywhere and get those 3 things. But we're like, no,
the bodega.
we have the unique spots here in New York City.
It's the worst, man. It's the worst. I've been here my whole life, and I'm so sick of people like that. It's like, it's not that fucking great, man. I promise you. Now, if you said a bodega with a cat running around in it, that's probably pretty unique to New York. But not the
bodega.
Yeah, not the snacks though, man.
We have so many New Yorkers in New Orleans right now. It's become like an epidemic.
So
everywhere you go, you see these yellow license plates. So now they started a movement called Yellow License Plates Must Leave.
Wow.
Like New Yorkers, you got to go back home. You got to go back home, dog. You can't stay.
Dude,
you cannot stay.
When I went to FSU, and so when I was living in Florida, they had to stop. You know how like on rental cars, they put like the little Enterprise sticker on the back and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They had to stop putting those on rental cars because people were running them off the road. They were like, get out of our state. It was crazy. I had a Massachusetts license plate. I was like, this is fucking, I'm taking Ubers everywhere.
So wait, are the New Yorkers are they just like taking over and being assholes? Like they're not being very friendly guests, I guess, huh?
So New Orleans is a cultural city. Like there's certain things that we do and it's a part of the culture.
Right.
So if there's a street musician outside at midnight playing music, he's playing for money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's like me coming to New York and telling the bodega you got to close at 8 p.m. because I work in the morning.
Right.
It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
So there's so many people from the Northeast moving here since COVID and even before, but now, like since Katrina, it's just an influx of them. Like, so now they're going to city council and they're like, we need the street musicians to stop playing at 9 a.m. because Martha has to go to bed.
That's bananas.
That's crazy. That's surprising to hear that New Yorkers are. I mean, like we're used to the worst street performers and the worst. You know what I mean? Like I can't believe that they got a problem with loud noises or people.
Your neighbor in Times Square, not in your neighborhood.
Right.
Exactly. It's like if you move 2 blocks off of Bourbon, you can't call the police if somebody pissed on your step.
Yeah, right. That's just how it goes.
If you go to Times Square, if you're hanging out by Port Authority and you get robbed, call the police.
That's part of the culture, baby.
Part of the culture.
Some dude puts a CD in your hand and you start walking away and he's like, hey, where's my $5? You know, like
you owe him $5. I love it, man. So, things are going good for you, man. I mean, you're getting that Disney Plus money, you're getting that Netflix money. So you got Outside the Wire coming out, which looks like a good old-fashioned, fun Netflix movie that's just going to entertain the shit out of people.
It's a good time. And my thing is, like, I grew up in the day of, Terminator. I grew up in the day of Mad Max. I grew up in the day of, like, RoboCop. Good, fun popcorn movies that you can chill. Even if you watch today, they're still enjoyable. Die Hard, Independence Day, those just tentpole action fun movies. And this is one of those movies, and it works on so many different levels because it's a really good script, really good story, really good time, and the action sequences are just crazy.
That's what I've read. We didn't get a screener, so I haven't seen it, but I was reading a review in Variety, I think, and they were like, it comes out the gate and just kicks your ass. Like the opening scene is apparently like a battle scene, and those Anthony are my movies. Those are my fucking movies. Like
this dude, I can't even trust sometimes. He's like, yeah, it's amazing. I'm like, everything is amazing. He loves all those movies. If it was up to him, every Fast and the Furious would win the Oscar every year. He loves that shit.
But as we were going,
I don't know about all that.
Oh no, I do, Anthony. I do. And as a man who's been in also, like you do it both. Like you've been in these fun movies, and you're also in like a lot of Oscar movies where you get nominated for a lot of different things. But I like going through your IMDb, I was just like, oh, Pain and Gain, yup. Oh, Eagle Eye, yup. Like these are my movies, bro. But yeah, you were 999, right?
Yeah,
you were.
That's hilarious.
Good fun movies, man. That's what it's about.
I remember. I think 999.
That's what it's about.
I think 999 was one of Netflix's earlier, like we're really committing to movies, and that came out, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm all aboard this movement. This is right up my alley.
Because my thing is, why do you buy 80-inch TV? Why do you buy a 42-inch couch? Why do you buy a 7.8 Dolby Digital surround sound system to watch like the Queen's Gambit? That don't make sense.
Yeah, I can watch that on my iPod Nano.
Right. I love the Queen's Gambit. Right. I watched it. I literally binged it again last week, but I don't need it in Dolby Digital. You watch it for action. You bought all of that shit for action movies to see. And one thing I know is this, like, everybody likes to see a black dude kicking ass. Everybody. If you think about it, dude, if everybody knows who Shaft is, everybody knows who Superfly is, everybody knows who Kojak is, everybody knows who Spawn is, Will Smith kicking ass. Equalizer.
Denzel kicking ass.
Watching Denzel kick.
One of my favorites, baby. And when he comes back and he slips that hammer back into Home Depot. Oh, what a move.
See what I mean? That black dude, you standing in Home Depot like that black dude just finished kicking some ass.
That's great.
But despite how great you are in all these movies, you're also a Juilliard trained actor, which isn't kind of how you'd think that someone in an action movie. Traditionally, you don't think someone in an action movie is like went to Juilliard. How do you? I guess how did you use it? But I know the answer, so I'm just setting it up because I was reading an interview with you where you were talking about learning to land like Falcon, and you said a quote, and I'm gonna get it because I got a lot of questions here. You said you were learning to use your core and you flipped, you smashed your head into the dirt, everyone laughed at you. But the quote that stuck out to me was, being the weird actor I am, I went back to my mime and clown days. What are the mime and clown days, Anthony?
Tell us about the mime and clown days, Falcon. What do you got? How does that work? And why don't you break out some miming for us, bro? I guess everybody started somewhere.
He started somewhere, man, in the subway for quarters. I had 3 amazing teachers, one of which we made a documentary about. His name is Moni Yakim. He was my movement teacher at Juilliard. Then I had a combat teacher at Juilliard named Felix Ivanov, who worked in Russia. And then I worked with Dickie Ellis, who was the head clown at the Big Apple Circus that used to be in Lincoln Center.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, with mime work, with clown work, with movement work, with stage combat work, it's all about body control. And when you're doing these action movies, when no one has taught you how to learn like a bird, that's not something we do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have any kind of training, you can watch a video of a bird and be like, all right, he flips his wings back, he throws his legs up, his tail comes down, he slows down, he lands. Bet, put me on a fucking rope. I got it now, dog. You know what I mean? So it was, you literally have to go back and study birds land. You have to watch National Geographics and look at birds, get past all the bird sex stuff and watch them land while they're flying. And it's a whole different ball game after that.
Fucking Juilliard, man.
Dude, it is like, because you just people think of the action movies and it's all green screen and CGI. They don't think about you watching birds have sex. You're like, look, I gotta get my body movements right,
Dude, there's footage of me somewhere coming in, like this is the ground. So rehearsal, they lift me up 20 feet off the ground. They let me go, and I do that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're shooting, they lift me up, and they're like, you're still in frame. Go higher. Higher. So, like, way fucking higher than we did it in rehearsal. So Joe Russo goes, yeah, you're all right, Mackie.
I guess so, yeah.
I come in, and it's the scene where Rhodey got shot. So I'm supposed to come in, land, and then Iron Man, like, shoots me, right? So I come in, and I'm like, I'm coming in really fast. So the stunt dude didn't pull my chest up fast enough for my legs to come under to land. So I literally did this.
I hope you're getting paid like hazard pay or some shit, man.
Workman's comp, dude.
Damn.
Put it somewhere, dude. I literally did that. Like my face just went crack, 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 crack.
Just skipping rocks with Anthony Mackie's face.
God damn, man. Speaking of getting your start, though, we were looking back through your history, and it seems like 8 Mile was like the first major thing you did. Like you didn't have, at least according to your IMDb page, did you have many roles before that? It said like bar patron was your previous gig, and then boom, Papa Doc. I feel like that's quite a leap. Who did you pay off? You talked to Eminem and be like, yo, I mean, how did that happen?
Yo, man, what you drinking? You need somebody in the movie?
Yeah.
I was, when we were at Juilliard, my friends and I wrote this play. My friend Michael DeVell Wynn wrote this play called Up Against the Wind. And all of us got together and rehearsed it and put it on. And then Jim Nicola down at New York Theater Workshop saw the play, moved it from Juilliard off Broadway. Then Molly Finn, who was cast in 8 Mile at the time, came to see the play because it was a play about Tupac. I was playing Tupac. She saw me and said she wanted me to audition for Curtis Hanson for 8 Mile.
Wow. So just like the butterfly effect of like a small time play,
effect.
like if that doesn't get moved off, if you're not doing that, if she doesn't come to see you that night, who fucking knows what happens next?
Yeah, just from us, and it's crazier than that. So I was a freshman. We used to sit in our dorm room, drink, and like write this play. We would rap, we would read lines, we would do all this shit. Michael would go back write every night. We would do this. Wasted. So then he finishes the play. We do a reading. Showtime comes to see the reading, and they're like, "Yo, we would love to make this in a movie, but we want to see the play." So the dude who was actually playing Tupac, I was playing Biggie, and let me say, I was a great Biggie.
Yeah,
you can ask anybody. I murdered Biggie, right? So I was reading Biggie. This other dude was reading Tupac. He graduated.
Okay.
And I asked to read Tupac.
So
then I became Tupac. We do the play. It moved off Broadway. I got 8 Mile.
Wow.
Dude, that's fucking insane.
And did you know when you got 8 Mile? I mean, obviously there's some big names in there, and Eminem was on like top of the world. But I mean, even like looking back on it now, when that's a show like when it pops on TNT, I'm like waiting for the final scenes because I gotta watch the rap battles. Did you know it was gonna be
watch it.
Like iconic like that or cult classic type shit where it's gonna last this long?
No, we had so much fun, dude. All of us, were getting like $400 a week per diem, which we thought we were rich, right? And then, we were getting paid on top of that. They gave us a rental car and a hotel room, and we were making a movie. Bet we're rich, we're balling, right? So we were having so much fun. We never knew that the movie was going to turn into what it turned into.
Wait, how old were you playing Papa Doc?
21.
Wow, that's fucking young, man. Shit.
Yeah, that was half of my life. I'm 42 now. I played Papa Doc at 21.
That's that long ago? Oh my God, I wouldn't have even guessed it was that long ago.
I remember it's that long ago because when I stood up to say everybody from the 313, I like still had a boner from the Brittany Murphy scene. So I was like hand up and bent over. Like, I knew I was young when I saw that shit.
God damn. Shit.
I will say one of the best moments in cinematic history was when they're in the office and they're about to have sex and she licks her hand.
That's the scene I was talking about, Anthony.
Honestly, that's the realest sex scene in history. She licks her hand and it lasts like 10 seconds. I was like, yo, that's how it is. I get it. That's how it goes. You need a little bit of help, and it doesn't last long. I get it.
I remember seeing that. Once you get older, you see it, and you're like, oh, shit. Like, no one has ever... That is real.
Yes.
Like, that is real.
I had never seen one like it, and I'd never seen one since. Like, that's the realest shit.
No one can do it. No. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I feel like Papa Doc was such a... I mean, that's that name that's so iconic. Like, that's a great... I feel like looking back on it, because now, you're doing Marvel shit, and you're doing, who knows what's next for your future. But I feel like having Papa Doc and being a part of that is going to be something like on your resume that'll stand out forever.
Oh, no question. I've done over 65 movies, and people recognize me most for 8 Mile and Marvel.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like, I would imagine when it's all said and done after this, it's going to be Marvel, but like people, the real ones are going to remember that,
Yeah, no question. That's how I know if you are a real OG ride or die fan.
Mm-hmm.
You come up and say some weird shit from a movie, and it's like, whoa, you
know.
Way to go, kid. You want a drink? Get this guy a beer.
Yo, you be careful what you say. People are gonna hear this and come running up to you all the time. I gotta say some funny shit to him. I gotta say some shit you never heard before.
With the Marvel stuff, with where we're going now. I'm not very familiar with the comics. I've seen all the movies, but I don't really know the history of it. But as I understand, you're basically being the shield of Captain America, right?
Well, no. So this is what's interesting about it. At the end of Endgame, Sam Wilson didn't accept the shield. He said, I don't like the way this feels. This is your shield, it's not mine.
Right.
So in the series, we learn if it's going to be Bucky, if it's going to be the new Captain America, or if it's going to be Sam, or we don't know who's going to take up the shield. So in the series, you learn the plight of the moniker of Captain America while we fight the bad guy.
Now, if Chris Evans was America's ass, let's say you become Captain America, where do you?
Wait. See, you almost got me. I was going to say something. See, you made me comfortable, and then I was going to blah. See what I mean?
We were so close. It almost worked. We had this whole plan. I said about 25 minutes in, we'll say that. It'll work. I swear it'll work. Shit. So close, man.
Nah, Chris and I laugh and joke about it all the time. I have a much better ass than Chris Evans. So one day we're gonna do the biking short test or the compression short test, and we're gonna have everybody choose which is America's ass.
Blind test. You don't know who it is.
And I think it's gonna be a 50-50 split. Some people like their pizza lightly toasted. Some people like a little bit of char on their pizza, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you like your buns cooked.
I got a question for you. So I think another article I was reading, another story that's happened to you. Have you seen Will Smith since he punched you in the face? And could you take him in a fight?
Do tell, Tony.
I've seen him once since he punched me in the face. And I will say, I've been in a lot of fights. Dude has a right hook. So this is what happened. You know how, like, when you see a dude and you're like, yo, what's up? And you go and do like the arm wrestle high five, but you pull them in.
Well, yes, we do know that because it's the most tense moment of our lives as white guys. Like if me and you were to be in person, I'd be like, don't fuck this up. Oh shit. Are we going in? Yeah. Are we gonna do a handshake? Are we doing a fist bump? We're gonna dap and hug. Don't fuck it up. So yes, I do know what you're talking about. It doesn't come as naturally to us, but yes, I know.
So this is what happened. This is why I call it an awkward racial moment. So I get so excited to see Will Smith because I love Will Smith. I think he's amazingly talented. I think from music to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to what he's doing now, you can't question. 30 years later, Summertime is still a classic. Mm-hmm. Nightmare on My Street, still a classic. I mean, he made a song about Freddy Krueger that people still bump. Mm-hmm. Classic, okay? So I love Will Smith. Hands down. So I get a call from my publicist to go meet Will Smith for his birthday and present him with his cake. So I lose my shit. Actually, we're shooting this movie while we're in Budapest when I get to meet Will Smith, right? Uh-huh. So he comes to me to give me like a high five, like what's up arm thing. I got so excited I went to hug him. So I'm like this, and he goes.
Did he take you off your feet?
Dude, he literally hit me so hard. Started going down. Caught me.
Wow. Saved you.
And he goes, you good? You good? I'm like, yeah. Why are we in a fight? Like, why are we fighting? You gotta let me know when I'm walking into a fight. I can't just walk up and you sneak me, dog. There's like 30,000 people out here. Oh my God.
Dude, I gotta be honest, that's the whitest move I've ever heard. You got punched in the face trying to dap it up. That's never even happened to me.
I told you it was an awkward racial moment. He came Like literally, so when he realized it was, because sometimes you'll try to dap and you miss, and you go again, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I do.
He came through and he missed and was like, oh.
And then
Right hook, man.
And then catching you, got be like, you know what? Put me down. Put me down.
Let
me fall.
Let me fall. Don't hug me. Don't save me here.
I'm gonna sue you, Will Smith.
Get some of that money. Get some of that Fresh Prince money. He's probably still spending.
Dude,
Shit.
next time you see him, whenever COVID's done all this, next time you see him in an award show, you gotta no, don't even go in for you just gotta sneak up and just run full speed at him. Use that core strength, that bird knowledge you have. Jump up, kick, boom, drop kick him. Be like, what up, Will? Happy birthday, dude.
See, but this is what you don't think about. If you kick him and he does not fall.
That's not good. It's not a good look.
I think maybe if I kicked Will Smith, he wouldn't fall. Anthony, I think if you give him a drop kick, he's probably going to go down.
I don't know. The dude used to be a mime, okay? He's a mime at Juliard. How tough could he be, all right?
Dude, I saw the Outside the Wire trailer. I saw you jacked up. I think you can take Will Smith down with a flying drop kick.
Hell no. After that right hook, we're good. We're good.
Before I let you go, I just got to talk about one other project you worked on because I think it's one of the more interesting things I've ever seen. And led to some very funny reactions. The episode of Black Mirror is it's responsible for one of the greatest lines ever. I fucked a polar bear and I couldn't get you out of my mind. And then a lot of the reaction on the internet was very funny. What would people call it? Black Mirror Mountain,
Black
Broke Mountain, something like that. Whatever. A lot of buddies busting their balls, joking about hooking up with their friends. But you've done some crazy sci-fi shit now. I got to tell you about Altered Carbon too. I feel like that show, man, is so under the radar as one of the greatest sci-fi things ever. It's intense and it's weird. You got to really dive in and figure out what the fuck is going on. But you've done a lot of cool sci-fi shit. But that Black Mirror episode, man, that was a wild one.
That was one of those ones where you're like, hell yeah, the future's gonna be sick. Like me and my boys just playing actual fighting video games, and then you get 20 minutes into it, and you're like, I don't know, man.
There was one reaction. There was one reaction he read on Reddit that was like, I almost texted my buddy 5 minutes into that episode, being like, "Yo, the new Black Mirror is awesome. You got to watch it." He's like, "I'm happy I saved that text message for a few minutes later."
Now I'll tell you what. So I was in the airport in Atlanta, flying out to LA about 2 weeks after it came out. So I just bought my sons these sidekicks, right? The little joints.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going out, stopping in New Orleans to see my boys and give them the sidekicks. There's a dude sitting across from me and he's playing his little joint. So he's playing, and I'm just sitting there. And he goes,
Yeah,
he literally took his game and did this.
Yeah. Yo, Anthony, you should have hit him with that Brittany Murphy move.
Oh my God. Anthony's publicist right now is like, get the fuck off this interview. Get this interview over with. Holy
that would have been amazing, Jim.
God damn, man, that's funny shit. How much do your kids love the whole Falcon thing and the Marvel shit? They must love this, huh?
You know what? It's weird. Like when you do you guys have kids?
I got little ones. How old are your kids?
My kids are 11. My big ones are 11 and 8.
Okay, I got 5 and 3. So.
Okay, so it'll get to a point in your life where you won't be able to do this, and everything you do, you will do for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happened with everyone. Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, all of them used to do this crazy raunchy stuff. Then they had kids, and all of a sudden they do Millennial Man.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden they do, you know what I mean? So I'm at the point now to where everything I do, I just look at my kids and I'm like, do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck, I don't care about anybody else.
Right.
If my son's like, Dad, that was dope.
Then you know. Yeah.
Then I know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting. My 11-year-old, 8-year-old, I'm going to pop some popcorn, get the juice boxes out, bring the cooler in the living room, turn on Outside the Wire. Be like, all right, I need a review. They love action. Like they love that stuff.
Yeah.
So
at age 2,
we'll see. I'm excited for them to see it.
All right, man. Well, so the movie will be out tomorrow at the time you're listening to this, and of course, everything to come with Marvel and Falcon on Disney Plus in the future, and everything else you're going to be in. Because I think you're about to have yourself a pretty nice run, my man. I think things are going to be pretty good for you. So thanks for the time. we appreciate it.
They've been so bad for so long, so you've earned it.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Have a good one, dude.
Be safe, man.
You too.
All right, shout out to Falcon. That dude is on top of the game right now. Anybody, man, how incredible must it be when your agent calls you and it's like, you got the role, you're in the Marvel universe,
right?
Or when you hear
because
the
it's like
rumors.
one thing to like get in the movie, and he's a big part of like Captain America and stuff like that. But now you're your own guy. Now we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's also got to be great when you're like a side character at first, but like your time's coming.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, we got all these new streaming services, these new spin-offs, this new director. Like it's my time.
And those and like the previews I've seen of that show, like it's just a Marvel movie.
Absolutely.
It's a show, but
they're
it's
just breaking
not.
it up into 10 parts.
It's still produced by Disney. It's still directed. It's everything's done by Disney. Like it's still you just have that idea where it's just like I think I said I've been watching Entourage and they're like doing a big thing where it's like Vince is like I'm not going back to TV, which is such an archaic idea.
Right.
I think
now
like,
it's like you want to do that over
everyone
movies.
gets the TV.
Yeah. I mean, even you can the idea that TV is different. It's like you watch movies on TV now. So you can still be a movie star, but we're gonna watch it from our living room. So don't fucking knock the TV. Like we said, most important invention in the world. That's how I watched Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Attitude Era. That's how I watched him wrestle. That's how I watch him now on his television show, Straight Up Steve Austin. So Stone Cold's back. If you listened already, listen again, because Stone Cold's the man. And if you didn't get a chance to listen on Tuesday, Stone Cold, the interview is back. It's brought to you by The Zebra. The Zebra is a car insurance comparison site. So it takes all of the available plans and compiles them in a quick side-by-side website with over 100 providers to help you choose the best plan for you in 90 seconds or less. They'll never sell your information, so all you got to do is sign up, give a few pieces of information, where you are, where you live, what you're looking for, your car insurance, your home insurance, whatever, and it will churn out all of the options in your area. Organize them however you want, from highest to lowest, from lowest to highest, to most comprehensive. However, whatever it is you're looking for, The Zebra will churn out the best one for you. Think of it as like Kayak or Priceline Negotiator or all that stuff for auto insurance. It's completely free. They won't sell your information, so you won't get spammed with anybody reaching out to you afterwards. You'll find the best rate and the best coverage in your state in under 90 seconds, and you can save up to $670 a year using The Zebra. So find out today how much you can save on your car and home insurance by going to thezebra.com, thezebra.com/KFC. That's thezebra.com/KFC. Start saving today and find the best price and the best available insurance for your car and home today. Thezebra.com/KFC.
Don't go. What's up, my man?
How we doing, brother?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, what in the fucking world is going on, period, right now? Shit is getting crazy, brother. So, how are you doing, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good. I'm out at my place here in Nevada, just kind of kicking it in
I was
the
going
middle
to
of
say,
nowhere.
that's the spot to be right now, and probably for the last year or so. You've probably just been posted up chilling.
Man, I've been riding my buggies a lot, and I'm looking forward to. I've been talking about this show for a while, and talk about it again next Monday on the season premiere. So I'm excited about it. After all the stuff that the world has been through in 2020, and then we got greenlit for season 2, and then right when we were going to get everybody booked and start, we got stopped, and it changed everything. So finally, we were able to start and operate in a safe fashion and get the goddamn show in the can. So I'm excited I got a chance to work in 2020, get a paycheck, and have a ton of fun with all my guests, and it finally gets to come out on TV. So I'm in a happy place there, but hey, the world's kind of messed up, but we don't need to talk about that.
No, not, out there on the ranch, chopping it up with Stone Cold is, and you speak of the guests, I feel like season 1, we spoke before you launched it, and it was great, but season 2, I feel like it's on a whole other level. Some of the names that you've gotten and it just seems like the status is really taken off, and you can tell.
It's really cool, and I love all the guests on my season 1 because all they had to look at was a pilot that we shot a couple years back, and we didn't know really what the show was. So now if maybe someone didn't hear of me or didn't watch my career or whatever, they can say, you can give them a season's worth of shows, and you can give them the numbers that correlate with it, because we kicked ass in the ratings. Say, here's the show, here's what it is, and they can actually know what they're getting themselves into, and they know that they're going to get themselves into a good time. We're going to do great things. We're going to talk about their accomplishments or what they've journey to get to where they're at or where they came from, and have a good time. And I tell each guest before we start up, I say, hey man, if we don't have a ton of fun doing this, we're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with a body of work, you can go, bigger.
Yeah.
Did Bert Kreischer even know you were filming? Or was he just
Bert Kreischer lives?
Dude, we're standing around at a swimming pool. Yeah, that's part of on a trailer. We're standing in a swimming pool, and that guy, he says so much stuff that didn't make camera, and we're drinking beer and eating a steak, and I'm spitting out half the beer, and he's making me laugh so goddamn much. He was an absolute riot, and I always thought he was funny to begin with, but when you hang out with him, it's like next level.
Right.
That guy's dropping bombs the whole day.
Now, he says he has the Mickey Mantle gene. I don't know if he brings this up on the show, but he says he has the Mickey Mantle gene, which means he's great at everything. How did he do on the ranch?
Oh, he did great.
Yeah,
he did great.
He can do it all. It's weird. He picks up a bat, he can swing it. He shoots a basket, he can do it. He's strong, he can drink, he can party. He's weird. He can do it all.
He's the machine.
Yep, it really is. And you know what? On top of it, he's got the persona and the personality and the gift of gab to boot. So when the stories get going with Bert, I would imagine, and I'd imagine that's much like yourself. You've been all over the place. You've been all over the world. You've had an interesting life. When the stories start flowing, that's when the real fun starts.
Yeah, it's all the stories, and obviously being a touring comedian, he's had so much practice at it, and he's done it so many times that, man, when you can start telling a story, but when you've told it for so long, you can add different layers to it, and it always stays consistent. That's when you really become a fascinating or funny storyteller. Mm-hmm. And he's out of 1 out of 10 storytelling, I'll give him a 9.9.
Yeah. You mentioned that these guests now have they can look at season 1 and they have some work to go off of. But I would imagine, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, you could come to me with fucking nothing, Steve. I don't need a pilot. I don't need ratings. If you said, we're just going to go to my ranch and do some shit with Stone Cold, I feel like a lot of people would just be like, yes, I'm in. I want to do it. How many of your fans, how many of your guests seemed like eager to just, live the Stone Cold experience?
Man, most of them were really cool.
Yeah.
And, maybe it's because they have seen season 1. But they just, like I said, we're out there to have a good time and to shine a light on them, and also help them promote whatever they've got going. And they're giving you anywhere from 6 to 10 hours of their life, and so you want to make it a good time. But yeah, if everybody was like you, hell, I could get anybody in the world on the show.
Well, I think you could. Earlier in this, you said maybe who they didn't follow my career, or they haven't heard of me, or whatever.
They know.
Stone Cold, you're talking about 3 people, maybe, in the world who just don't know exactly what you're about.
I know. I don't look at myself like that.
Right.
So
yeah.
Maybe the other people do, but I don't. So
well, I think that's what makes you. I feel like that's why you're able to have kind of this second part of your career where you're still down to earth and pretty self-deprecating. Yeah, Steve, you're a pretty cool fucking cat. You're pretty legendary, man. Most people are gonna know your story.
I think you guys are going to be upfront enough with me. If I ever do turn into a blowhard, you'll be the first to
tell you. Yeah. No, I won't. I will be terrified to tell you.
You're very wrong.
Maybe over Zoom. Maybe, you know what else? As we're wrapping up, I'll be like, hey, Steve, you're a blowhard. I'll end it. But do you feel that at all? I think that there's kind of 2 different parts of you in the sense of one is the way you look and the way and the wrestling background and just being like a badass motherfucker. But this other side of you is you're very interested in other people. You want to talk. You want to learn. You want to do. It almost seems. And maybe it's because Stone Cold is a character, but I would never have imagined that you would have this second act of being into podcasting and the internet. And I would imagine you have just go out to the ranch and and do ranch stuff. But it seems like there's this other side of you that's really interested in, media and a brand and all that. Do you feel like there's two different parts of Steve Austin?
Man, I guess it's two different parts. It's the same guy. Now, hell, I'd love to be stone cold 24/7. We all to get paid to do it.
Yeah.
But, I don't really facilitate a great conversation being stone cold Steve Austin.
What?
I'm always getting
What?
bottom line and wanting everybody. And, I can be, pretty, very intense.
Yeah.
But, as Steve Austin, the guy where stone cold comes from, I am curious. I love people. I love to be away from people as well.
Yeah.
But I like hearing stories, and like, man, when you're hanging out with this list of guests that I have, and I've seen everything that they've done, it's just to get a chance to pick their brain and do some things with them is really cool to me. And I would have never figured, because when I got out of business pro wrestling and I had to pull the plug on myself because of just some neck problems and stuff like that, but it took me a long time to, turn back into a civilian. It was hard. That was the hardest thing in the world for me. I didn't have an exit strategy. When I got into business, I only had one plan: to be a pro wrestler. There was no plan B. So when I got, injured and needed to get retired, I didn't have an exit strategy to go to the next phase, because I wasn't thinking that. And so to think that, I'd start podcasting, people would realize, hey, the dude actually has a sense of humor. He's not mad all the time. He's not drunk all the time. He's not saying what all the time.
Yeah.
He's, he can actually, facilitate a conversation and do a few things. Yeah, it was a growing process. And, when I first went out to LA, half times I'd go into meetings for stuff. This is when I first went out to LA 16 years ago. Hell, they thought, that I was going to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the podcast kind of helped me break down some of those walls. And they're like, you know what? The dude, he's kind of down to earth, and he can be funny, and he'll ask some good questions every now and then. It's not always about me. So it's fun to be able to go through that process. And I'm glad people have accepted me as that guy, because if there's one thing that I am, I'm 100% authentic, and I ain't never faking shit.
Have you noticed a drastic change in your, not drastic, but a change at all in your fan base? Because like my girlfriend is obsessed with your show. She loves the show. She's like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done to her, is talking to you. And she's a young girl who was not necessarily a stone cold Steve Austin fan. She's a Steve Austin fan. She loves straight up Steve Austin. Have you noticed a lot of that like demographic change?
Man, that's a great compliment. And I'll still get, and I'm happy for it, because of the network, because of the video games. Man, dude came up to me. We were talking. He goes, "Man, my son is your biggest fan." So I'm figuring the kid's got to be 20-something, right? And I said, "How old is he?" He goes, "He's 5." And I'm not calling bullshit. I'm like, how's he? I retired in 03, dude. And he goes, "No, through the network and through the video games. I don't know what it is, but now that I've been out of the ring for so long, it's kind of like, well, I'll just say it, because a lot of people around. It's just people. There's a lot of people who do remember me just for this show, and I love that, because I can be stone cold. Well, I can't be him all day long because I'm not him anymore. But I can't live on that forever. It'll always be a part of me, and I gotta do what I'm doing now, and I'm being me. So the fact that I can create a fan base by being me, hanging out with a guest, that's very cool to me, and means I've succeeded at the next level.
I wouldn't ever go as far to say it's a blessing in disguise, because I'm sure it was a lot of pain and a lot of anguish and hard to leave the ring with the injury. But it's an industry where I feel like people hold on for so long. You got guys who are wrestling into their 60s. They just, a Goldberg coming back, and I feel like, sometimes the fans would rather you move on, and it probably sucked in the time, because you probably felt like it was cut short and pain and all that. But I think in a weird way, it kind of jump started you to get to the second act, and in the long run might end up being better for at least the career aspect.
Maybe it kept me from getting beat up anymore. But, I wasted 3 or 4 years, after that, just fucking off. Mm-hmm. And, when I moved into L.A., I messed around in San Antonio for a while, just killed some time, doing some some things to kill time. And I said, hey man, you better get your ass out to LA, because I never had any plans on being an actor, nothing like that. But I just knew that after finally getting over being out of the business, I needed to get to LA because I didn't want to go back to driving that forklift. And I called DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, up, and he goes, shit, bro, come in and rent a room for me. I got a 2-bedroom condo. And I said, hell yeah, I'm in. And so when I went out to Dallas, hell, I wasted another year in LA just hanging out and drinking. So,
doing yoga?
This is the Steve Austin yoga. Up, down, up, down.
I was there. I would be walking downstairs to make my breakfast, and Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, would be in his office already working on yoga for regular guys way back in the day, right? And that was DDP yoga. And I just shake my head as I went there to go get some coffee. I'm thinking, this motherfucker, he ain't gonna make no money in yoga. Guys don't give a shit about it. And now look at him now.
Yep.
He's helped out probably hundreds of thousands of people, high-profile athletes. It's amazing. But I was there, and I was thinking, man, the dude's putting all his money in this. They always say, don't put your money in, and then use other people's money. I just went in.
Did you ever get him a coffee when you were pouring yourself one?
I might have.
Okay, now you're an assistant.
There you go.
You're an assistant. You were there at the ground floor. You deserve equity, brother.
Ground floor. I'm calling him right after I get talking to you guys.
One of the things that I think a lot of athletes struggle with after their career, or at least they say, is that it's not even so much the game, it's the locker room they miss. Is a wrestling locker room like that too? Is there like the brotherhood, or do you guys kind of go your own separate ways afterwards?
No, 100%. You know, you do go your separate ways because I only stay in contact with a few people. But when we see each other at the reunions, you know, it's just like time never passed and we're all back on the same page. But yeah, man, you just miss running up down the road because you got to look, you know, to be on a professional sports team, that's you know, or any kind of team that's kind of doing something unique or high level, it's different. Pro wrestling is different in and of itself. And to be at the top and the best company in the world, you're traveling around with like-minded people, and it's that circle. And you might not all get along, but you're on the same team. And if somebody from the outside's fucking with somebody from the inside, you know, everybody's got each other's back. So there is a brotherhood, and there's competition, and there's animosity, and there's jealousy, and there's everything that goes with it. But the biggest thing is we're all in this together, and it is a brotherhood, to answer your question. And it is about the locker room. It is about the arenas, hanging around, you know, whether it's dipping, chewing, drinking coffee to kill time, wait for the crowd to get in there to kick it off or start a TV taping. Yeah, it's a lot about that.
How does it work? You know, you just said that there is some animosity at times and you don't always get along, but I feel like when you're in the ring with someone, there's got to be a level of trust and some sort of cooperation that goes on, or someone's going to get fucking hurt. Had you ever encountered like, I don't like this guy, we're not on the same page personally, but now he and I have got to, you know, put on a show and fight, and how hard can that be?
No, I've never been that place in my career. By animosity, I mean, like, you know, if you're on the card or you're traveling, and then someone that you think is beneath you or someone else is getting a major push, and you're kind of just like, you know, that can be, you know, to create a little animosity or a little, really?
Yeah.
So there's that. And the closest thing I can think of to when, like a situation like you were talking about, two guys that didn't really care for each other, like Brett and Sean. I remember one time, I think they went to the ring and everybody's saying, oh man, it's going to be a shoot. It's going to be badass. It wasn't, because the business is a work, you know, and those guys were, you know, that was just like on a one-night thing. Those guys did that Iron Man match, worked for 60 minutes. Anytime you put those two guys in the ring, they lit it up, and it was a 5-star classic. So, yeah, being like that don't work in the ring. Now, when a guy, you know, gives you a potato and, you know, it's the wrong potato or too many potatoes, and you give them a live one back, you know, but then you get back on the same page and everything's cool.
Well, I feel like recently there was Behind the Mat was a documentary, maybe not so recently, but in recent years, the wrestling fans have been talking about the time that The Rock and Mankind were going at it. And there was kind of this, you know, the thought that maybe The Rock had taken it a little too far, and Mankind, it went a little too extreme with the chair shots. How does that kind of work where it's like, yeah, it's scripted, but also there's a little bit of improvising, and if one guy's taking it too far or one guy's too extreme or something along those lines, like how does that play out before, during, and after, where it's like, what was that about?
I think on that occasion you're talking about with the chairs with the handcuffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was brutal. That was hard to watch. And I think I was working that night or getting ready for something. I don't remember if I was watching it that night or just remember watching it after. But that was a kind of like one of those deals where, as one of the boys, you're like, man, this is a little much. But then on the other hand, they're thinking, hey, man, we're really trying to push the envelope. And, so I can respect what they're doing. But also on the other hand, I'm like, what were you doing?
Yeah, right.
It's kind of a two-way street.
Right.
So I can look at it from both sides of the spectrum. I get it, but also that's a little too much. Oh, case in point, but not to the violence of that, was when Pillman pulled out the gun when I broke into his house.
Yeah.
He was like, what are you doing? So, hey, but we're trying to entertain you. Yeah, but there was a gunshot on TV or whatever. And I'm breaking into his house with a bat. A lot of people thought that was over the edge. I thought it was just right.
I mean, as a fan, that was amazing. And even, I hate to say it because it probably contributes to it, but that match with The Rock and Mick Foley was incredible. But then you see the aftermath, his daughters are crying and, you see him getting stitched up afterwards. And it's like, oh my God, I feel like almost guilty being a fan liking that, but.
Well, like I said, man, because I love chair shots and stuff like that, and they're a thing, and all the CTE stuff or whatever. But that was the hardest part about that was watching, I think his daughter, maybe Dewey was as well, but
yeah,
just watching them just selling and crying, and they didn't know what was up. They were just there to watch Daddy wrestle, and it was kind of a little bit more than that.
Back to the show, you mentioned everybody, storytelling is the crux of it all. And I would imagine when people come on to your show and they're on the ranch and they're in front of Steve Austin, they're bringing their best stories. If the tables were turned, if you were a guest on a show like this and you felt like you really needed to bring the heat with some of your stories and tales from your life or maybe upbringing, what would you tell? What would be your go-to story? Like, I got to wow the crowd right now.
No, I mean, well, they'd have to ask me, but I'm an open book.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a story, I really don't have anything to hide at this point in my life. And, I've done pretty good and I've done pretty bad. You want to talk about it, just ask it. Let's go.
I like that. There's not a single thing you would hide. There's nothing that you, could I ever ask you a question and you would be like, interview over, we're done.
But then, it's hard because the show is a fast-moving show. It's a half-hour show, which means that's 22 minutes of content. And so, you got to tell a long story short or, kind of keep things moving. So, there's an art to it. And, it's almost like being on a talk show for three different segments, right? Or 3 or 4 different segments. So you got to get the beats in and don't, tell some stories, but tell them quick.
How long is filming for it?
Like to film an episode? Or what?
To film an episode.
Okay, like the day before, we'll go through all the beats. Camera's going to know their angles. We know what we're doing, but we don't have the guests there. So, I'll have someone riding with me, and anything I might be driving a new contraption, whether it's on land or water. I've got to learn to drive that safely because I've got one of the biggest superstars on planet Earth with me.
Right.
And I cannot harm them. And we're going to go through some adrenaline. So there's that. And I got my producer riding shotgun. And she's a blast, and she's amazing. So we're doing that, and then when a guest shows up, from when they get there after makeup and going through everything, it can take anywhere from 6 to 8 or better hours because sometimes you have multiple locations, different setups, different rigs. Everybody's got to tear down the sets, especially if we got to move. Dude, it is a work in progress. It's a half-hour show. It takes all day to film, and by the time I'm done filming, 2 days for an episode, and I'm ready for a beer.
Have you kept up at all in the world of boxing and UFC, with what's going on with Mayweather and McGregor and these the Jake and Logan Paul kids from the internet?
I have not.
Okay, so there's 2 guys, Logan and Jake Paul, who are Cleveland kids who came up on YouTube, massive YouTube stars. They also grew up like very good high school wrestlers and have since trained to be boxers as well and have done some amateur boxing, but on a pretty big scale because they're a big draw. They do pay-per-views. They can sell out arenas. And the one kid, Logan, has challenged Floyd Mayweather to a fight, and he is going to do it in February. The other brother, Jake, is in the process of trying to call out Conor McGregor and box him as well. I know there's been some kind of, like CM Punk once did a little UFC. There was like some crossover in those worlds. But as far as you know, in the world of combat sports, could you imagine, you know, these kids are in shape. They do know how to throw hands a little bit, but they're now stepping in the ring with some world-class fighters without knowing too much about the situation. If you could give your prediction on how that's going to go.
Man, it's going to be kind of hard to hit Floyd because he's so elusive. If you're not an elite striker, you're probably not going to touch him. And with respect, I'd say that he's not known as being a power puncher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then again, I don't know what kind of chin they have because it's kind of a world that I don't really know about. But anyway, it's going to be hard to hit. As far as the other one goes, Conor McGregor's heavy-handed. In my opinion, I think he's very heavy-handed. God dang, the way he uses distance and closes distance.
Not interested in getting in the ring with either of those guys?
No, I don't want no part of either one of them. Because by the time I miss Floyd with a big-ass right hook, he's going to hit me like 20 times. Now, that ain't going to be fun.
Let me ask you this, because obviously it's a little bit different with wrestling because, you know, obviously there's a scripted element to it. But this kid, Jake, when he was calling out Conor McGregor, and he's trying to bait him, and he's trying to sell pay-per-views, and so there's a lot of shit-talking in the fight-promoting world. But this kid immediately started talking about his wife, said that she's ugly, said that she's a 4 out of 10. He's really like personal shots at him and his family. What would happen if someone started running their mouth to Steve Austin that way?
I don't know. But just as far as trying to promote a fight, that's the worst place a person could go.
Right? I mean,
I'll leave it at that.
Right. There's some things you just can't say, right? It's like we're not even talking about putting on a show anymore. Now it's just personal.
Not down with it.
No. I don't think there'd be many people who would take it there with you anyway, brother. I know I wouldn't.
But to take it there with him, man.
Nah, it's crazy. All right, man. Well, listen, we appreciate the time. It sounds like things are just going absolutely fantastic with this show. I foresee a lot more seasons if you keep up, you know, these guests that you've got and the gift of gab that you've got. So keep doing your thing, man, and we always appreciate the time.
I hope so. Maybe one of these days I can get down there and see you guys again in person, and I appreciate you helping push the show. That's a different part. You know, another step down the road for me. And I'm having a blast doing the show, and the show is just designed to entertain people. We ain't trying to be rocket science. So
that is one of the things that it very clearly comes through. That just everyone's having fun.
Right.
You can tell that in any kind of content. You can just be like, these people are doing it because they have to do it versus these people are doing it because they're having fun and enjoying it with each other. And that comes through a lot in the show.
Well, I appreciate it. That's the biggest compliment I could get because
that's about the host. The host is the one who makes that come through. So well done by you.
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying.
You're succeeding. It's January 11th on USA at 11 p.m. So go check it out. And thanks always for the time.
Thank you so much, Stone Cold.
Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
I'm going to hit you with a little YouTube sabermetrics, okay? Only 15% of people who watch the videos on the KFC radio channel are actually subscribed. That means,
you fucking lurkers. I'm
right?
tired. Yeah,
free,
I'm tired 85%
freeloaders.
Retweet, like, fucking heart on Instagram.
Rate, review, subscribe.
If you enjoy content, double tap it.
Literally,
double tap to subscribe.
Just click. It doesn't. I think you only have to click it once, not even double.
Well, okay,
just one click.
But I'm not a mathematician. Just a one click works.
Because I don't want. If you double click, you might subscribe and then unsubscribe.
Oh, true.
So just one click.
3 clicks.
3 clicks to subscribe, because otherwise, I mean, it literally doesn't affect you at all, and it will basically make our careers so much better.
Oh,
Please
so much better.
Do it.
Oh, you'll get us so good.
Please.
You'll get us going
Come on.
85% of you.
Don't be poor.
Triple the thing, the subscribe thing.
Smash that button, as they say.